know, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps and I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Now, strap season, y'all know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the ball. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switched codes, but he codes with focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibe, I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a peace, man. I ain't got no time for appeasement. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, then you might want to get out of Dodge by the evening. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beef. If they don't leave anything behind at the evening.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a beast. When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they wanna call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibe. I'm the kingpin.
What's happening, everybody? Told you we'll be here today. You know what I'm saying? What's happening, everybody? Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Nobody ain't in the room. Yeah, okay. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get to it anyway, man. David Morrell. You know what I'm saying? Great performance last night. Beat down your boy, Sena Agbeko. Now, Sena Agbeko, I mean, of course, this was a showcase fight. This is a showcase fight for David Morrell Jr. I like the way he looks, man. He looks like he's like boots at 147 for the 168 division. You know what I'm saying? He looks like a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? He got more agility, got more speed, power than the average dude. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see the talent. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's just right there. You know what I'm saying? The way he throws his punches, you know what I'm saying? The uppercuts, man. I mean, the dude got power. I mean, he moves like a damn welterweight. You know what I'm saying? At 168. He just seems so goddamn agile. He could punch from so many different angles. And I'm impressed, but I'm not impressed. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to look at the performance of this Sena Agbeko guy, and then we look at Devin Haney, who fought Regis Prograde, right? And you say, okay, well, he did. Devin did what he's supposed to do, right? He did what he's supposed to do against Regis Prograde, right? So, and then you say, okay, well, that don't really mean nothing. I mean, Devin got a belt. He got a belt, the WBC belt, right, from Regis. You know what I'm saying? David Morrell didn't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get nothing out of this fight, you know what I'm saying, except for, just to stay active and to showcase a little bit of his talent, right? So they're crowning David Morrell Jr. the king of 168 off of, saying, I'm not just saying off of this performance, but they're making like this performance was so big and this guy looked like he wasn't even supposed to be in the ring with him. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Devin fought a real champion. You know what I'm saying? So if we, what I'm saying, so it's like everybody like really behind David Morrell Jr. They're excited about David Morrell Jr., which I don't have a problem with. It's just I don't see him fighting top guys, and people are saying, like people don't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, you still got to get those. You got to get those fights in the ring before you get crowned the king of the division, right? I think we do that too soon. And I was saying last night that I don't think we have enough talented journeymen to like really test these guys. Even though David, he looked like the real deal. I mean, he definitely looked like the damn real deal in there. But people are really high on David Morrell Jr. and I just don't see how they could say, damn, he definitely would destroy David Benavidez. What's going on, TZ Frank? What's happening, bro? I just don't see how they are putting David Morrell Jr. over David Benavidez when we already know David Benavidez' resume. We already know how he's coming to the fight. And even though I do see what people are saying, I do think that David Morrell Jr. is more talented than David Benavidez. Definitely more skillful in the ring. He's way more versatile than David, but he don't have the experience that David Benavidez has. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to admit that, you know what I'm saying, because they really underestimate and doubt David's skill set. You know what I'm saying? And we got to see how these two styles clash, you know what I'm saying, before, we just give the fight to David Morrell Jr. And I think we do that too often in boxing. You know what I'm saying? We see a guy who's really talented or a guy who's fighting B level competition and we say, okay, well, he could beat every damn body. You know what I'm saying? That's my problem. You know what I'm saying? When we see a good contender or a good prospect, you know what I'm saying, we start putting them above people before the fight. You know what I'm saying? And we got to stop doing that shit, man, because David is a beast, man. He's out here fighting champions, guys with real skills, guys who's proven themselves in the sport. Now, I took the liberty of pulling up, David Morrell's resume. You know what I'm saying? Pulling up his resume. Now, if you look at the dudes on his resume, unless you're a super hardcore boxing fan, you don't know who these dudes are. You know what I'm saying? They might be good competition, but shit. I mean, are they out here grabbing titles? Are they out at the top of the division? Okay, they're in the top 10, but shit, we know there's bullshit in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Anytime they want to elevate somebody, you know what I'm saying, they pay that money, you know what I'm saying, they can get their name elevated into the top 10 also. So we know how boxing works. So when people use talking points saying, well, he's fought people in the top 10, that really don't mean nothing. We know that as hardcore boxing fans, we know that don't mean shit. And we can look at the fighters, like I can't even pronounce these dudes' names, but if you look at some of these names, bro, I mean, do you know them? I mean, you may know a couple of them, but they're not like, what I'm saying, world beaters is what I'm saying. So we don't know where David really sit when it comes to, what I'm saying, the top of the division. What, like when you're talking about the fighters that David Benavidez fight. I mean, has he fought a Caleb Plant? Um, what I'm saying? We haven't seen Caleb Plant or David Morrell Jr. in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him against what's his name? Andre Darrell and all these. I think he would destroy those guys, but I want to see him in the ring over Calvin Henderson. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him over Elena's Fox and what's this guy name? Mike Gavansky and Lennox Allen and you know what I'm saying? These and Quentin Rankin. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him. I want to see him fight beyond these dudes right here, you know what I'm saying? Because look like they're crowning him the king. And look at the knockout. Look at the knockouts here. He getting the guys out of here, round four, you know what I'm saying, round three. You know what I'm saying? That I mean, that just shows he's got power, but that means he got power against lesser competition, is what I'm saying. So, he's got a UD against his Lexus Lennox Allen and stuff. So he's still getting better. He's getting better and better. But definitely he has power. He's definitely got a lot and lots of talent, man. I mean, dude he's amazing, man. I love the way he moves. I mean, he really moves real nice. He's fluid. And then he got Ronnie Shields as a coach, who's a legend in the sport. So, him and Jamal are over there, training together. So he got championship motivation. You know what I'm saying? He got a good foundation, to get started. But to name him the king of 168, um, I think it's too early. You know what I'm saying? I think it's too early. Like, he very well he might be able to beat David. I mean, I can see his abilities. What's going on, Bruce? Boxing, Jazz, and more. I see he has the ability. I mean, I see all kind of abilities. I mean, the motherfucker, he slips to the left or right, man, and he kind of like Boots. So he slips left, right, and then he goes to that body, man. And he's got that speed and power on the punches. So he looks very dynamic as a fighter. But the Mexican monster, you know what I'm saying, he don't give a damn about that, man. He's coming forward to destroy you. And he got his own offense. He got his own shit that he could put out. We seen what he did to Demetrius Andrade. Now, one thing I hate in boxing is that before a fight, some people, gave Demetrius Andrade all his respect, saying he was going to go in there and he was going to outbox David, right? Because David can't cut off the ring. David can't do this and David can't do that. He can't cut off the ring. He's a limited fighter. And, so David went out there and fucking destroyed him. You know what I'm saying? He went out there, just like a lot of people said, he went out there and he destroyed Demetrius Andrade. Now they want to chop down, Demetrius Andrade. He was too small. So this is something we do in boxing. Look at Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying? And Regis Prograis, people said Regis probably go knock him out because Devin don't have a chin, right? Devin don't have a chin. So that means that, he didn't, Regis was, he had a better chance of getting getting Devin up out of there. But then when Devin went in there and showed his footwork, he showed how sharp he was, his youth, his speed, then all of a sudden Regis he's trash. You know what I'm saying? He's trash. He ain't got no skills. You know what I'm saying? He was never a good champion. So that's just something I hate to see in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Before we give the opponents a chance, you know what I'm saying? And then it's a good challenge. But then after we see the fight and it's one sided, then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, that the dude wasn't nothing in a way. It really didn't do nothing for his career. Unless it's somebody that you like. You know what I'm saying? And that's something we see too far and too often in boxing. Tearing down to the opponent after, the guy that, the guy that had all the favor in the fight, do what he's supposed to do. Right. And this fight with David Morrell Jr., I think he did what he's supposed to do. He got rid of a guy that wasn't supposed to be in the ring with him. The dude looked like a damn if you look at Sena Agbeko, he looked like a bodybuilder. He don't look like a damn boxer. He was round up pouncing around the ring. You know what I'm saying? His defense sucked. You know what I'm saying? His wide hand stance. David came in there, he was just tapping him to the head with that jab. He was busting his ass. I'm talking about every time. He got him out of there in 2 rounds. I mean, what does that really say? You know what I'm saying, for David Morrell? I mean, Jr., you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, a busy fight, right? And people say that David Benavidez turned David Morrell Jr. down to fight Demetrius Andrade. Well, Demetrius Andrade is more of a name than David Morrell. And for David Benavidez, he's trying to collect names so he can fight Canelo Alvarez, right? Because what do they say to David when he wants to fight Canelo Alvarez? Hey, man, you haven't fought nobody. You got to go out there and fight nobody. So David went out there and he fought Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? Got rid of Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden, Caleb Plant became trash, right? You know what I'm saying? Then he went out there and he fought your boy Demetrius Andrade, right? Now he trash. So it's like, who the hell can David Benavidez fight to get a fight with Canelo, right? That's the fight that's the trajectory he has been on. Everybody knows that, right? So he's probably not going to get that Canelo fight, right? So next in line, it's got to be David Morrell Jr. So I don't know why everybody's in such a hizzy. You know what I'm saying? Like, say David turned him down one time to try to carve out space to see if he can get that fight with Canelo, because nobody cares that Canelo won't fight Demetrius Bivol, right? So he didn't go back and he lost that fight, and he didn't even go back. He's supposed to fight the man again, but nobody gives a damn about that. Nobody's saying Canelo is scared. Nobody's saying that you know what I'm saying, Canelo's this or that. They just let Canelo do what the hell he want to do. And I'm saying, if we're going to look at other fighters, you know what I'm saying, that's trying to carve out space for certain fights, then we got to let them do that, right? Do I want to see David Benavidez versus David Morrell? Hell yeah, I do. Yeah, I want to see that fight. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I want that to be his next fight. But I do understand that he don't want to take a risk of losing and lose his spot to make that big payday with Canelo, because you know how Canelo do. He's hoping that David, these two cancel each other out. You know what I'm saying, or take some steam out of their careers. You know, possibly have a war in the ring and beat the shit out of each other and just take down their vitality, their youth a little bit down. You know what I'm saying, by beating each other up, you know what I'm saying, and tenderizing each other. That's what Canelo Alvarez want. He want them to take some of the steam out of their careers by fighting each other. And you got two young guys like David Morrell Jr. and David Benavidez. They could very well do that. You know what I'm saying? They could go out there and put it all out there and have a 12-round war. And then, you know, Canelo's going to be looking intently. He's going to be looking intently to see, you know, just like Sugar Ray Leonard did with John the Beast Mugabe and Hagler. He was ringside at that fight, and that was a fucking savage war, and they really beat the tar out of each other. And then that's when Sugar Ray Leonard decided he could fight Marvin because he hadn't been through enough shit. He hadn't been through enough battles. He was war torn and worn down. So you know, Sugar Ray said, "Man, I could get in there and beat." He got the confidence to say, "I could beat Marvin Hagler," right? So what I'm saying is that's what Canelo is kind of doing. He's kind of sitting back and letting these guys destroy each other, you know. And you know, nobody has a problem when Canelo's doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're not holding him or putting him to no pressure to fight the top guys in the division. As a matter of fact, Canelo's stepping out of the division, bringing people up from 154 to fight. Now they're trying to push Bud Crawford on Canelo. You know what I'm saying? And we already know how that's gonna pan out because you know he's too small, man. He's too small, but they allow Canelo to do that kind of stuff. You know, how you gonna be undisputed in a division, right? 168, right? But you ain't fighting nobody in it that's at the top. That don't make no damn sense. That don't make no damn sense, right? But instead of talking about that, you know what I'm saying, we're talking about the real dudes who have to fight within the division. You know what I'm saying? David is fighting the Caleb Plants. He's fighting Demetrius Andrade, who has been a rival of Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? Demetrius been trying to get that, everybody's trying to get that Canelo Alvarez money. Let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? You fight Canelo, he could change your life. And so everybody's talking about fighting Canelo Alvarez, right? But Canelo Alvarez, he don't move. What's going on, Jeff R? Where he's not moving like he's supposed to, man. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting back, and this is something that I think Tank Davis is doing also. You know, because you know they know they bringing them dollars, and they bringing them asses and seats. So that's what the networks care about. So long as you know, saying these guys got that star power, you know, they don't have to abide by the same rules as these guys that don't sell. And it kind of sucks in boxing that you can do this, you know what I'm saying, that you can use your star power to kind of pick and choose and cherry pick. And that's what we're seeing, you know. So while the guys at the bottom, you know what I'm saying, like David Benavidez and David Morrell, who's really not at the bottom, really they kind of like the elite top talent in these divisions, but they don't have the star power. They don't have the selling power. David is just getting to the point where you know a lot of boxing fans like him and want to come see him and pay for his fights, right? So it takes a lot of building to get to that point. So what I'm saying is David is trying to protect that. You know, he don't want to get knocked off by a guy that's just really good. You know what I'm saying? In boxing now, it seems like you got to be more than just talented. You know, so you got to be more than just the next logical challenger, right? You got to be able to sell, right? And I think David, now that he's turned that corner where he can sell a little bit, and he's trying to really build himself up to get that Canelo money. You know what I'm saying? And see, the thing is, we followed David so goddamn long, right? And we seen him fight 3 eliminators, you know what I'm saying, to get this Canelo fight. He's that's his journey, man. It's like So David just comes out of left field on the fringe of fucking boxing, right? What's going on? What's happening? S J boxing IQ. So David come from the fucking fringe of boxing, right? Looking good, high talent, real threat, right? But he's not selling shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care about that part of it. I care that he is a talented fighter. He's at the top. He's a champion and all this. But he's not building his brand to the point where he's not doing the work that David has done to try to get that Canelo fight, right? So I think we should give David a chance to, or give him some space to try to get that Canelo fight, because I think he fucking earned it. I think he earned it. And even though I don't think Canelo's going to give him that chance, let's put some pressure on Canelo Alvarez, right? To do the right thing, right? And let's give him a little space to try to get that payday. John Ryder, he gets all the goddamn fights. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to fight the tough dudes. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. Boxing is just not going that way. I think David will fight David Morrell Jr. I think David Benavidez will fight David Morrell Jr. I just think he wants that money. I think he don't want to ruin that opportunity. You know, so that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? I think he's just trying to wait to see if the public can put enough pressure on Canelo to make that fight. And then if he gets that fight and he goes out there and beat Canelo, you already know. You know what I'm saying? His next fight got to be David Morrell Jr. Either way, even if he don't get to fight Canelo, he's got to fight David Morrell Jr. because nobody else wants to see David in there with anybody else. But I'm looking at your boy resume, and I'm not impressed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not impressed. I mean, I see the skill, I see the talent. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's what I'm more impressed by. You know what I'm saying? What he could do in the ring, how he moves, how he throws those weird angle punches. His power is something special. So he is definitely not your average run of the mill bum. You know what I'm saying? He's not somebody to be taken lightly. I think he may well beat David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that I want to see him in there with some really stiff competition. I don't want to see him in there with Sena Agbeko. I mean, they could have just saved that fucking fight. I mean, they could have just put that shit in sparring. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was just like, really? Really? You know what I'm saying? This dude caved in from round one, and everybody like, oh my God, look how great David look. I mean, like, bro, can we get somebody who got a chin, somebody who got some talent, somebody who's going to give him a test. You know what I'm saying? Before we start saying David Morrell Jr. could go in there and destroy the Mexican monster, you got to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You got to be crazy. You got to still earn shit in boxing, and we are just giving it away. You know what I'm saying? Just because a guy look good, you know what I'm saying? Just because a guy has skill and talent, but what about the willpower? You know what I'm saying? What about that dog? You know what I'm saying? We don't know if this guy got dog like that because he haven't fought anybody that could test him. If you look at this shit, he's knocking out motherfuckers, and we've seen this before. So we seen Tyson knock out everybody until he stopped fighting stiff competition, right? We seen Tyson knocking out motherfucking 1 round, 2 rounds, here, 4 rounds, 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? We've seen this before. We've seen this in boxing many, many, many times before. And then we start crowning these motherfuckers the king. And then they find out, here come a Evander Holyfield, here come a Lennox Lewis, here comes, a Buster Douglas, come in there and you're like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we thought Tyson was the shit. You know what I'm saying? And not to take away, say that he was a bum and nothing like that, but he did what he did in the time that he had it, right? And we can't say, and then when stiff competition start coming, you know what I'm saying? It's like he had to go through them guys and he couldn't fuck with them bigger heavyweights. Mike Tyson was a small heavyweight, right? But when you got the 6'6" guys coming in there. So what I'm saying is, David Morrell Jr., he's a big 168 pounder, 6'1". David, I think, is 6'2" or 6'3", something like that. So that's a good battle. That's the real, as a matter of fact, that is the real undisputed fight, because Canelo is avoiding these guys because he already know what time it is. And see, a lot of these guys, they sit back like Terrence Crawford and they go get on these fucking programs and they soup up their muscles and they like bang and shit. They put that fucking super juice in their ass, and then they prepare for the dudes that they gotta face. You know what I'm saying? And by the so they could clear all the tests and everything, and you know what I'm saying. But when they're ready, they're ready. They fight. You fighting on their time. So when they could clear those battle tests and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're looking at in boxing. So when he's just right, when he got his body just right, and he done got all his little juice, Tyson Fury, another one, you know what I'm saying? Before they get knocked out in sparring. You know what I'm saying? You be hearing these dudes getting dogged out in sparring and shit. They getting fucked up in sparring. But then once they go to their little safe place, you know what I'm saying? Canelo eat his beef. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury gets his little androgen and you know what I'm saying? These guys they got the power to prepare, you know what I'm saying, snack for Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Once they, you know what I'm saying, set it up, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, I'm ready for you now. Shit, I done had 2 years on fucking microdosing. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm ready. I got the confidence to come in here to destroy you because now I got superhuman fucking strength and superhuman everything. And I done tested it out in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, boxing is kind of fucked up like that. You know what I'm saying? From what we're seeing. And I know that's a lot of conspiracy, but you already know what I'm saying is true. You already know what I'm saying is true because they do not directly just take the challenge and then do the 6 weeks or 8 weeks and get in the ring. No, these guys be planning and they be plotting and they be you know what I'm saying, doing what they got to do. You know what I'm saying, to get in a position to win. And I just want to see David get his shot at Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him get a shot at because it's been a long journey for him. And you know, the Mexican Monster, I love the way I love his fighting spirit. I love his attitude. And you know what I'm saying, for these fighters like David Morrell Jr. who are good, I think they deserve their shot too. But he's got to wait. I think he's got to wait. Now I don't want to see David fight some scrub, you know what I'm saying, before he gets to David. I want David Morrell Jr. to be his next opponent. I'll just say it like that. I do. But I do want I want people to put pressure on Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So he has no way out. So he has no way that he can escape but fighting another fucking person, pull up another person from 154. I think that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he should be allowed to do that. You know, be able to slide up and down and do that. If he's going to be undisputed at 168, he need to fight somebody at 168. And I think he's avoided David way too long. Now they're putting out the narrative that David, even the media writers are saying David seemed like he's too desperate. You know, what the hell does that mean? You know what I'm saying? He looked like he's too desperate. He's asking too hard, you know what I'm saying, for the fight. I was like, man, that nigga is not royalty. You know, Canelo is not royalty, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's a fighter like everybody else, but because he make money in the industry, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna protect him. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not down with that. I'm not cool. I'm not cool with that. And you know what I'm saying? There was a good showcase for David Morrell Jr. And I do see what everybody's talking about. You know what I'm saying? I did a video on him when he was in his third or second fight, and I could see the talent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the motherfucker is the way he moves, man. It's just the way he box, man. He just box like he's a lightweight or something. And he could carry that weight and he can carry that power, and it's incredible. You know, it's incredible what he can do in that damn ring, man. It's like, you know, I mean, I see it, I understand it, but I won't put him over David. I won't put him over the Mexican Monster. So Jeff says, he says, Canelo is a bitch, so he doesn't want to lose to David Benavidez. Exactly. And I don't understand the rivalry because David has been nothing but respectful. You know, so he's been nothing but respectful to Canelo and his position in the sport. But, you know, so Canelo is not Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was a phenomenon, right? You know, say he thinks of himself on that level as a Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? But he's been, you know, before he went on that European tour, you could see the diva in him. You know, he really wanted to be more than he was, right? And then they just kind of like paved the way for Canelo to get those belts. You know, I mean, how you gonna get a fucking 2-for-1 fighting your sparring partner, right? That shit don't make no sense, and nobody says shit about it. You know, they just said, "Oh man," like Stevenson. I saw Stevenson in a damn interview with his own, and he was talking about, yeah, yeah, I admire Canelo. I admire Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, the fuck? What the fuck going on, bro? It's like, how the hell you go? If you're a real fighter and you have to get it out the mud, just because a guy, gets some kind of a commercial success, some kind of monetary success. I mean, I'm not saying Canelo can't fight, man. He can fight, but the industry has definitely boosted his career. The system has definitely gave him a easy path, to get to where he is, to promote him. And for these fighters to be looking at Canelo like he's you know, like he's real like that. It's incredible, man. I just can't believe the Stevensons of the world looking up and Tanks looking up to damn Canelo. They just like his position, and in this generation, they love popularity, they love wealth, and they love the people that get the deals and shit because that's where they want to be. Where's the about? I'm more about legacy. So what about legacy? What about fighting the top dudes? What about not ignoring the top guys in the division? When are we going to start talking about those things? So that's what the hell I'm talking about. What's going on, Phoenix? Phoenix 6. He says salute, cool chat, listening at the work. Yeah. So it just kind of pissing me off. Like if you can, if you can look at this man resume right here, and you can say, okay, you can look at that resume right there. Now I'm not taking away from his talent, but I can't look at this resume and say he the king at 168. You know what I'm saying? I could look at how he throws his punch. I could look at his abilities and say, yeah, he got a good chance of beating David Benavidez. But I can't look at his resume and tell that. And say shit. This dude just destroyed a Lennox Fox and shit. So knocked him out, TKO'd him in 4 rounds. You know what I'm saying? And I can't look at these dudes and say shit. David don't stand a chance, and I just don't understand it. I just don't understand. Y'all see what David is all about, man. David is coming in there, off a victory with Demetrius Andrade. And that Demetrius Andrade is a talented ass fighter, man. It's just that David was too big, too strong. He was just too big and too strong for Demetrius Andrade, man. But he's still Demetrius Andrade. He is not a Steve Beko. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So, why are we putting David, over David Morrell Jr. over David Benavidez, And I would just love to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I would love to hear it. I don't know where Ghost came in last night. He was like really cheerleading for David Morrell Jr. And I was like, that's the wrong performance, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't like give him really accolades off that shit right there. Now it was fun to watch him beat the shit out of Sena Agbeko, who's looked like a fucking bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? He's in there posing with his hands down and shit. And I was like really awkward ass style. And I was just like, bro, I don't even know why they got this dude up in there. He just looked like crap. He says Canelo knows if he loses to David, he loses the Mexican fan base. So with them goes the big paydays. Do you really think? Do you really think that Canelo could lose the Mexican fan base? I don't think so. I mean, I don't think. I think shit. Canelo could take a shit in the middle of the ring. They would love it. They'll probably pay money just to see Canelo take a shit in the middle of the ring. It says, uh, Sir Derula says, he said, no boxing 504. That's true. He said it'd be like him passing the torch. Yeah, he don't want to go. He don't want to go that route. I understand. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Floyd Mayweather. He didn't give any black boxers the opportunity to take the torch. To pass the torch. You know, um, Floyd. He chose Canelo Alvarez. And my thing is, and this is interesting, y'all. How the hell do you lose the legacy fight and become the face of boxing? How does that work? Ain't you supposed to beat? Ain't you supposed to beat the fucking old legend? Ain't you supposed to? Ain't that's how you pass the torch? I mean, I'm like, this shit is so backwards. This era of boxing is so backwards. When Canelo's supposed to go in there and Falumaloom Mayweather. So how the hell did he get so goddamn popular? So that's what I'm saying about how the system, chooses, and these networks, once they put that money behind you with the promotions and putting your name out there and making you, because some of those fights that Canelo fought with Laura, Trout, I'm like, bro, arguably he lost him some bitches, and then he didn't rematch him so he could separate himself even further. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, bro, I just don't understand. It's like shit. This shit is like marketing. You know what I'm saying? This shit is like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody got a master's degree in marketing and shit on Canelo's side. And he didn't go back and get those victories to separate himself, but yet his star power grew bigger and bigger. And so when I'm looking at somebody like David Morrell Jr. and they allow that shit for Canelo Alvarez, and you see David Benavidez struggling to move up the ladder, and they keep putting all kind of obstacles in the way. What I'm saying, David got to beat Caleb Plant. David got to beat um, what's his name, Jamal Charlo. He's got to beat somebody to fight Canelo. Well, Canelo got all the fucking belts. That's why everybody's after Canelo. He's undisputed at 168. That's why people want to fight him. If he didn't have the damn belts, you know what I'm saying, people wouldn't be talking about Canelo Alvarez. Why everybody want to fight Canelo? Why everybody, he can't fight everybody. We'll fucking drop some of the belts. You know what I'm saying? So these guys could fight for the belt, right? Let go of the belts instead of fighting people outside of your weight class. You know what I'm saying? That fight with Jamel should have been one of these guys, right? So it's like, bro, I understand you want to stay on the top, but bro, you holding up the sport. Canelo is like really bad for boxing. He's really bad for boxing because people don't they make an exception for him, but they don't make exceptions for David Benavidez. They don't make exceptions for David Morrell Jr. They don't make no exceptions for these guys. What's going on, Charles Young in the building? What's going on, bro? Long time no see. And what's it? JTV, what's up, bro? He says, Pool, you speaking facts. I said, I feel you. He says, David actually come to punch. Only thing is, he only got Plant and small Andrade on his resume. Yeah, but if you think about it, at 168, it ain't stacked with talent like that. He can only fight who he can get in the ring, and fortunately, he broke the ice with Plant and Andrade. These are two names in boxing that we know. Now, David on his end, I mean, like if you look at this shit, and I'm not saying this should keep him from the fight. I'm not saying that it should keep him from getting the fight. But if you look at his shit, you know what I'm saying. If you look at David Morrell Jr. shit, it's like, bro. I mean, really, shit. I mean, if you look at this resume right here, I mean, shit, that don't qualify for nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look at these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Retained the regular WBA super middleweight title. Retained the WBA super middleweight title. It's like, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So if they're gonna say that, what I'm saying is, if they're gonna say that about David, I mean, they got to say the same shit about David Morrell Jr. I mean, what the fuck has he done? And I don't even go by that kind of logic. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's the way the system is. That's the way they're looking at it. They're saying David got to jump through all kind of hoops to get this fight. Why don't they just mandate the shit and get it over with? You know what I'm saying? And mandate that he has to fight David Benavidez. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's like so some of the rules, some guys are above the rules, like Canelo, but then boxing fans hold David Benavidez, saying to the standard that say we hold all boxing fighters, right? He got to fight David Morrell Jr. You know what I'm saying, and that's what kind of pissed me off is that I'm saying that he won't get that Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying? That he gotta fight David Morrell Jr. You know what I'm saying? And that just kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? For David, who's been fighting eliminators and been doing his thing, you know what I'm saying, trying to get that fight. So he might go out there and let's say he gets out there and David Morrell Jr. beat his ass, right? Now he done lost his spot. You know what I'm saying? Now he definitely Canelo can breathe easy. You know what I'm saying? Because David Morrell Jr. and he can ignore David Morrell Jr. because of this. This is why he can. I'm gonna show y'all. He can ignore David Morrell Jr. because of this shit here. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say what the hell David? Who the hell he fought? You know what I'm saying? Calvin Henderson. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying the names that I can pronounce. Adios. You know, your boss Julie or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say he ain't fight no fucking body, man. These dudes, So that's so he's hoping David Benavidez get knocked out because he has more of a claim to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He done fought three eliminators. You know what I'm saying? He's been waiting around to fight Canelo, so he's hoping he get knocked off. And so he could definitely ignore David Morrell Jr. because he really haven't done shit. And if he beat David Benavidez, he gonna say you beat one guy. You beat one guy. That's all you beat. You nobody. So he could do the same thing to David Morrell Jr. And they're gonna say Canelo could do what he want to do. So whereas David, he's been around for a while and everybody know he deserves a shot. So I want to carve out a little bit of space so David could get his goddamn shot in, man. You know what I'm saying? I want him to get that stab. And I want the public to put pressure on Canelo to make that fight. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with it. So it ain't about disliking David Morrell Jr. I think he's a talent. I think he got the ability to even beat David Benavidez. It's just that it's a it's a uh, it's a seniority thing. It's a seniority thing. He says Canelo is trash. He says Canelo is trash. I think so too, bro. I think so too. TZ Frank says, he says the reason Canelo got all the belts is because Benavidez failed the drug test for cocaine and he lost it on the scale. Benavidez himself is to blame. But, you know, you don't think that fight with Yildirim, you know what I'm saying? You don't think that had anything to do with it? You know what I'm saying? That fight he had with his sparring partner, you don't think that helped him become undefeated? You know what I'm saying? That fight with Billy Joe Cyrus, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Billy Joe Saunders, Billy Joe Sand, he sold his belt. Everybody sold their belt to Canelo, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, David was the man, you know what I'm saying, in the division. Yeah, he did fail, but he came back. He came back and he fought the eliminators. He had to fight to get in to become the WBA interim champion, right? So when you have a WBA interim champion, right? Or the WBC interim champion, my bad. Um, ain't you supposed to fight the interim champion? So so okay, so Canelo is undisputed. Ain't he supposed to fight his mandatory, or maybe that's not? I know that they get to pick the mandatory, and just because you're next in line or because you're the interim champion, don't mean that you have to, say be the mandatory. You ain't the mandatory until they tell you you're the mandatory, right? But if you're the interim champion to one of the belts, bro, you're supposed to be considered next, right? So David got three of them bitches, right? He got three of them bitches. So what's up? He got like three of them. Just like who was that at 135? That was Ryan Garcia and shit was the interim champion of Devin Haney, WBC on the WBC side. He never initiated that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? So so what I'm saying is the shit is just is smoke and mirrors. The system is just smoke and mirrors. So when somebody come to me and say, "Well, David Morrell beat the number 5 guy," he beat the number 5 and he beat the number 6 guy. That shit don't mean nothing, bro. That shit don't mean nothing no more. Especially when you haven't seen these guys, fights. You don't see them in there, being great against the other competition in the top 10, right? So that's what I'm saying. He says Canelo is making a living fighting smaller fighters like Amir Khan, Charlo, and last Triple G fight. Then Canelo made the Kovalev fight him 2 months after Kovalev already fought. Right? Kovalev was in such financial dire. Then he was coming off that case where he beat up the damn lady dog. You know what I'm saying? He beat the lady ass and he beat the damn dog ass. So, you know, Kovalev, that was like a little special. Even Kovalev came back and said he had he took a dive and shit. Say I don't know how true it is, but that's what he said. Say that he took a dive. He says Canelo need to be stripped. It really do. It really do. Saying? Really it should be a massive story. Saying? Think about it. It should, he should be, like really ridiculed for what he's doing. Saying? And it's so bad, that people, the man got a franchise belt where he could do any damn thing he want to do. Yet we holding all these other fighters, saying feet to the fire. Saying? We holding everybody else except for Canelo. He says, Benavidez lost on the scales and Canelo went and grabbed it. Exactly, just like he did back at 154 when what was it? Was it 160 or 154? I forget. When Demetrius Andrade and shit moved up, he wouldn't fight Demetrius Andrade for the WBO, but when he dipped, Canelo came down and grabbed the belt. So what does that tell you, bro? You know what I'm saying? When he was mandated to fight Jamal Charlo, you know what I'm saying, at 160 for the WBC, he wouldn't fight him. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't fight him. He wouldn't fight Demetrius Andrade. You know what I'm saying? You know, he vacated that shit. So we know Canelo is full of shit. You know what I'm saying? We know he's full of shit. It's like, I don't even know, why are they saying, that David lost it on the scale when we know Canelo ain't fighting dudes like that. I mean, can we agree on that? That Canelo ain't never gonna fight David Benavidez or David Morrell Jr. I mean, can we agree on that? You know what I'm saying? Seeing how Canelo has moved in the past, Canelo don't want tough competition like that. He just when he lost, did he go back and get that victory against Demetrius Bivol? Did he do that? Did he do that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just looking at how he's moving, right? So he's not moving like a champion that really wants to prove that he's the best. You know what I'm saying? He wants the reputation. He wants the you know what I'm saying? He wants the stardom of it, but he don't really want to go in there and like, fuck these guys up, you know what I'm saying, and get that rematch and separate himself. I mean, he got so many fights that's still left on the table where he should have went back and said made a better performance. He don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you could say David, lost it on the scale, but shit, he really just didn't want to fight David Benavidez. Because if he did, he would have answered that controversy. Say, hey man, say you want to grab this man belt just because he slipped. No, man, give that man the opportunity. We've been waiting for that ever since. Ever since we've been waiting for Canelo to do the right thing, right? So we know that shit ain't finna happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? We know that shit ain't finna happen. So I'm looking at that performance, with David Morrell Jr. And I'm saying it don't really mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all like, damn man, you shitting on the man victory. Nah, it's just like it was a dude that wasn't supposed to be in the ring with him. Yeah, the dude, I mean, he's a great bodybuilder, look like it, but I mean, as far as a skillful opponent, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Get him the hell up out of here. I thought Jose Venezuela performance was way better. I thought that was I think that took the night. Um, so of course we had that fight with Berto and Robert Guerrero. That shit looked like two uncles fighting at a goddamn barbecue. Um, it was fun to watch that. It was fun. That was a fun fight to watch. But I was impressed by Jose Venezuela coming out there with that fucking leaping right hook. And man, he knocked he knocked out Chris Colbert so goddamn smooth, bro. That shit was pretty. That shit was pretty the way I mean he just he got his revenge. I thought that was a better fight. It was he just totally just overpowered Chris Colbert, man. And I just thought Chris Colbert, he just don't seem to have the same he don't have the same spirit that he used to have. He had a lot of bravado coming into the sport, and he was kicking a lot of ass. And he was, not big names, but saying he was looking good. He was styling and stuff. So he was talking shit until he ran into Hector Garcia. Saying Hector Garcia went in there and Faluma his ass, right? And ever since then, ever since that loss, Chris Colbert just been, he haven't been the same. He haven't been the same since that Garcia loss. He's getting knocked down in fights, and I think maybe he's fighting at 135 ain't good for him. Them guys they're a little bit too big for him, and it's like he just don't want to accept that shit. But I think he know now. I think he know now, and I don't think Jose Venezuela is nowhere on the level of a Tank Davis. He need to go tighten up on his defense. He's too slow. All that going to the body. What I'm saying, real slow would get him knocked out against Tank. I think he need to work on a lot of shit. But that's my boy though, Jose Venezuela. Man, what did y'all think of that knockout, man? I mean, dude went to sleep. Colbert, man, I was just like, wow, bro. I mean, shit. He hit that canvas, head hit the canvas like a little baby falling out the bed and shit, like boop boop boop, boop. And then it looked like he would it bounced when he hit the goddamn canvas. I was like, damn. He rolled over on his stomach and shit, like a Pacquiao were out. You know what I'm saying? After Juan Marquez knocked him out, I was like, damn, bro, shit, man. That was the highlight of the night, man. That I really, but I enjoyed the card. Other than that, um, what I'm saying, David Morrell Jr. I just thought that was kind of a letdown, just because of his opponent. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that was a letdown. Um, but do I want to see David and David Benavidez fight next? Hell yeah. I want them. I want them to be in there. But I think David deserved that damn Canelo fight. I really do. Um, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, moving on to Devin Haney and what's his name? Bill Haney. You know what I'm saying? They're going back and forth on Twitter, probably as we speak. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's just they building up the fight, um, or they just talking shit to promote their next shitty fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Tank is gonna fight Ortiz next. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't finna lie to you. I want to see that. I want to see that. Or I want to see that Pitbull Cruz fight, because I love Pitbull Cruz style. I love the way he comes at Tank. You know what I'm saying? I love the way he come forward. I like the way he throws his hands, and he be trying to knock your ass out, man. He's a little tough dude. But I think Tank gonna knock his ass out this time. I think he going. I think Tank, when he stopped putting that power on you and he hit him to the body like he did Hector Garcia, and he see that shit different. I think Tank gonna get his ass up out of there this time. Devin, I think he's gonna fight like a Sandor Martin or something. I think he's been. I think his mandatory is Sandor Martin, and so I think they just talking shit right now, so they could promote their next fight. Um, and their next fight is not going to be against each other. It's not going to be against each other. I think Devin's going to go that way, and plus he needs to get even more acclimated at 140. I think Tank needs a fight or two at 140 before he faces Devin. You know what I'm saying? Because he can't just rush his ass up to the 140, and say we don't know what's going to happen. Even though Tank did beat Marius Barrios, right, convincingly, but Tank took a little damage. He took a little damage in that fight. He took a little damage. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. Marius Barrios ain't a bad fighter. He's not a bad fighter. He looks even better at 147. You know what I'm saying? He looks even though, I mean, you seen what he did to Ugas, right? I mean, he destroyed fucking Ugas, right? And even though Ugas is long in the tooth, I'm just looking at the skills of Marius Barrios. So for Tank to knock out Marius Barrios, that's impressive at 140. So Tank could definitely be dangerous at 140. He could probably wipe out a lot of those guys. I think he would destroy Matisse at 140. Tank. I think he would beat. He could definitely. I think he could beat To. Um, Let me see. I mean, Tank. He could compete at 140. So I don't see why people, what I'm saying, trying to put Tank into this witness protection program. I really don't. I think Tank could be just fine with the skills that he got. I think he could beat all those guys. He could even beat Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, for some reason when it comes to Tank, they don't want him to lose his advantage at 135. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't make 135 anymore. That shit is too small, bro. Do you understand how little, Bruce Lee was 135 pounds. Do you understand how little Bruce Lee was? You know what I'm saying? So, I want Tank to come on up to 140 and challenge Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't think that put him at a disadvantage, because I think Tank is stronger. He's got a stronger punch. He's more um he definitely set those traps. You know what I'm saying? He could definitely knock Devin out. Can he box with Devin? That remains to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Can he box with Devin? You know what I'm saying? Can Devin withstand Tank's power? You know what I'm saying? That's why we want to see the fight. So I just don't understand why people don't, what's the problem? Why Tank can't come up to 140, Either he's gonna lose the fucking fight and move back down to 135, or is he gonna win the fight and stay at 140 and kick a lot of ass and stuff. So I think it just helped his career, or at 135 he needs to fight Shakur Stevenson. Fight Shakur Stevenson. Go ahead and get Shakur Stevenson out of the way. Either way, he needs to stop fighting some of the top competition. Um, but I do like that Pitbull Cruz fight. You know what I'm saying? I like Pitbull Cruz. I like what he brought to the table. The last fight, he really put a lot of pressure on Tank, and Tank was cracking that ass till he hurt his hand. So I do want to see that fight. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people hate that shit. They don't want to see Tank fight, Mexicans and stuff like that. But I do like Pitbull Cruz. But I do want to see Tank move up to 140 and like get it, get it on with Devin. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with that? So everybody getting caught up into, Bill Haney calling Matisse camp the wrong people and shit like that. I mean, I don't care about that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think Matisse is supposed to be fighting. Well, he was in talks with Teofimo, but I think Teofimo is fighting Jermaine Ortiz, which is a good damn fight. Tio and Jermaine Ortiz is a damn good fight, y'all. What's going on? What's going on, PGH Big Dog? So this shit is moving so fast. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to, let me see who they talking about here. Let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to go to the boxing news and stuff. Who's fighting who? Because the shit be changing so much, I can't keep up with it. Oh yeah, Bam did his thing last night too, y'all. That's Sonny Edwards, but I was impressed with Sonny Edwards, man. Sonny Edwards showed some fucking heart, bro. That kid, I give him a lot of credit, man. That he was standing some bullshit up in there, man. Bam was like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? So this was Sonny Edwards, man. He got knocked out, man. He started getting cut up in that damn fight. Let me see. So he started getting cut up in that damn fight. Let's see. Suspect. Let me see. Let me see. Morrell Jr. family. Boxing legend. Okay. So look at this shit, y'all. I ain't even see this shit. Oh, that's what that nigga said. Some Sena Agbeko says he suspect the WBA regular super middleweight champion David Morrell using some performance enhancing drugs last Saturday night with second round win knockout. Oh my god, man. Are you serious, dude? You suck. He said he missed that he doesn't know for a fact that Morrell, you know what I'm saying, 1009 KO was using PEDs, but he sees something odd about the absence of drug testing for the fight. Okay, they ain't had no drug testing. But I doubt, I don't think David Morrell Jr. is on that. I think he's just naturally strong. He says even though he signed a document for WADA to test and it didn't happen. Oh my God, bro, shut up. Shut up, bro. Nobody don't need no damn drugs to beat your ass, bro. You got your ass beat because you suck. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the skills and shit, you know what I'm saying, to be talking like that. It's like I don't get it. These dudes, they just won't take their ass beat and they get the hell on. Let's see. Looking for what am I looking for? Let me see. I don't see it. Let's see. But yeah, I can't find the shit. But anyway, that's what I think. That's what I think. He says, Bam, yeah, man, Bam put on, man, Bam. I don't, people be saying Bam don't have skills, man. I was like, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, am I like tripping? It's almost like a form of gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? Because you think people have boxing knowledge, but you're like looking at this man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, going to the body, going to the head, you know what I'm saying? His distance control from the mid range from where he throws his hooks and uppercuts, and he be accurate with that shit. Yeah, I mean, you could do that kind of shit at lightweight. You know what I'm saying? Because them dudes, they ain't got no weight on them. I mean, and that shit be fast. So he was destroying Sonny Edwards last night, but Sonny Edwards was in the paint, bro. He was doing his thing. He was giving as good as he got until he just wore down, man. He just wore down, and he got caught on them fucking ropes, and Bam was just taking it to his ass. I think it's the tape on them gloves and shit that just be cutting the nigga face up, and all of a sudden he started looking like a damn Holocaust victim, man. He was looking. You just heard the slow music in the back, and it was just like that motherfucker was just going down, man. His energy level just drained, and Bam just finished him. and that shit was brutal because Bam was like really roughing him up at the end when he knew he was going down his legs, and he caught him with a nice shot, man. His fucking legs, just if you saw how his legs felt, you knew it was over. You just knew it was over. I was telling him to stop the fight the round before. I said, this man is not going to win this fucking fight. He don't have the strength. He don't have the power to keep Bam off him. And Bam was taunting the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? He was talking all kind of shit to this guy. You know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy, man. I was like, wow, that was a good, brutal fight, though. He says Pitbull Cruz is sea level to me. Say his son deserves another Tank fight. His son deserves another. I just like his spirit, bro. I like how he put that pressure on Tank. He was hitting that motherfucker in the side, the ribs, wherever he could hit Tank. And Tank was moving on his ass too. Tank's felt that power. He got power. Uh, Pitbull got power, y'all. Yeah, he did, man. He says, Edward took a hell of a beating, yes, sir. And I admired his courage, man. I mean, it impressed me the way he kept getting up, the way he withheld that beating, the way he took that beating, and he came back. And you could see how skilled Sonny Edwards were too, because he was getting his shots in. He just didn't have the strength. He didn't have the punching power. I think Ghost was saying like he said Sonny Edwards and sparring be like destroying everybody. Of course, sparring is not the real fight, but it's some kind of psychological trigger to you know how motherfuckers be in practice hitting everything in basketball. In practice, say motherfucker have his eyes closed and shit, and then they could be throwing from behind his back making baskets. Get into the goddamn game and can't hit a goddamn bucket. You know what I'm saying? And that's I think Sonny Edwards. I think he was trying to say Sonny Edwards kind of like that. Like, he's a gym champion. He's a sparring champion. He says, Jonathan Potts says, what's happening, Pool? My brother says, you are 100% correct. That's what we've been saying. Tank will be more than great at 140 with them little gloves. Yeah, I think they underestimate it. Say they so busy trying to protect Tank from these challenges. And I think, they worried about him taking a loss. And I think with a loss, Tank would even be better, you know what I'm saying? Because then he wouldn't be afraid of taking on more challenges, you know what I'm saying? Look like once a fighter lose one time, like Ryan Garcia, for instance, you know what I'm saying? He went out there and got his ass beat by Tank. So now look at him. Now he's ready to take on the world. So sometimes you need an ass whipping to get better, to make boxing better, to make your career better. So you can get that, get that off, you know what I'm saying, your chest. And then, you know what I'm saying, look at Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now he done, you know what I'm saying, his little mystique done got his balloon got burst. Now he's ready to take on some challenges. And I'm thinking now, I think it's almost should be mandatory that every fighter take a L, because these fighters would do anything not to take the L. Avoid fights, you know what I'm saying? Take supplements, take PEDs, you know what I'm saying? They would do anything to get around facing that first loss. And I think that's sad for boxing, because instead of just doing it the traditional way, going out there and taking your lumps and learning, you know what I'm saying, from your losses, and learning where your weak points are so you can strategically come back and, you know what I'm saying, make a correction. That's what we want to see. That's why boxing fans love the sport, because if you fight 2, 3 times, whatever it is, hell, you can see the adjustments that a fighter made, you know what I'm saying, and got better. You say, God damn, man, you know what I'm saying, he fixed that shit. He's not doing that shoulder roll on the rope. He left that alone, and he won this fight because of that. Or he, corrected his defense, or, saying, whatever it is, saying, these fighters got to fight more than one time. So they got to be willing to take the L, and that's really a big part of boxing, saying, losing and getting better. And these fighters don't want to do it. They just want to put on a show. They want to put on one show and get the hell up out of there and make the money. And I think that's what's going on with boxing, is we don't have enough rematches. We don't have enough fighters about the legacy, about being the best. And as long as boxing is going like this, it's going to be superficial to us hardcore fans. It's going to be a superficial sport. As long as a fighter can go out there and eke a win, in a tough fight, we're not going to see that kind of quality anymore. I want to see these fighters have that same kind of pride that they used to have. If Floyd Mayweather had a close fight and it was controversial, he ran it back. You know what I'm saying? He ran it back. You know what I'm saying? When he fought Madonna, and Madonna came out there and he just never stopped throwing. God damn it. Madonna is still throwing punches now at Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? It's like he came in there throwing like fucking damn near 1,000 punches around. I don't know how the hell he did it, but you know, so people were saying that Mayweather lost that first Madonna fight. And you know, saying my whole point is, you know, saying you got to be willing to take the risk. You know, say if you're not, you're cheating boxing, you're cheating the boxing fans because you just want to go out there and put on a show like, let's say, Shakur Stevenson, right? Shakur Stevenson when he fought Dos Santos, that fight was bullshit. They should have ran it back immediately. You know what I'm saying? They should have ran that fight back immediately. Now you think Stevenson gonna run that fight back? No, because Dos Santos was dangerous. You know what I'm saying? He was a danger. That dude is just as good as fucking Stevenson. And they gave the fight to Stevenson, even though he touched him a little bit more. But we know as a competitive fight, that fight should be ran back. You know what I'm saying? We all know that. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's just putting pressure on Shakur Stevenson to run that fucking fight back. You know what I'm saying? He's just glad he got by it. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't separate himself or like really win it convincingly. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of fucking running. He said he didn't have a left. He couldn't throw his left or whatever. And he did that shit. I don't know if y'all saw the zone interview. Um, that shit was a bunch of bullshit. Them guys, I hate them guys, bro. It's like they, you know, what I'm saying they always kissing ass, kissing Terrence Crawford ass. Any of their guests ass, they never challenge him, challenge them, ask him any, challenging questions. Always these pillow questions and shit. Oh yeah, yeah, Stevenson. Yeah. You look like you were hurt, man. He was hurt. I don't make excuses, man. Yeah, but look like you were hurt. Yeah, man. Yeah, I did have a hurt left hand. I did have a hurt left hand, though. I mean, even though I don't make excuses, you know what I'm saying. And I even told Keyshawn and I told Bud that, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna show y'all how to go in here and win a match with only one arm. I'm like, bro, I was like, if they don't stop this bullshit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was like looking at that little nigga. I was like, man, this dude here is a trip, man. He's sensitive about the shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if he wasn't, he wouldn't have came on and put on that bullshit. Talking about, you making excuses, but you say you don't make excuses, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and then he gonna say his performance. He was pleased with his performance. I was like, my nigga, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy, bro. It's really ridiculous. He says exactly. He said, make your adjustments and get better. Fans got to stop dragging fighters over a loss as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We see the shit all the time. What's going on, Mugs 805? He said, nice boxing channel. Appreciate that, bro. You know what I'm saying? We just keep it real here and just talk boxing over here, man. Ain't nobody's trying to be no experts and shit. He says, hell yeah, he said they need to be fighting at least 3 times a year to get better anyway. Right. And see, that's another thing I talk about here. It's like, because the fighters stay out the ring so long and you got to keep fighting. And I'm not saying like have like a drag out dog fight every time you're out. But what I'm saying is, you got to stay active, right? To stay sharp. But what we see is that fighters stay out so long that that their skills are deteriorating. Then now they got to build back up their skills. They got to build back up their momentum. You know what I'm saying, to get back to the champion that they used to be. People be thinking that fighters are the same. You know what I'm saying, all the time. No, you got to get in the gym. You got to stay active, and you got to stay on top of your skills. Otherwise, you're not the same guy that was dominating when you were active. And that's why these layoffs are so important. They're affecting the sport of boxing. They're affecting the legacy of it because these guys are not as active, right? If you only have one fight a year, my nigga, like Gary Russell, you're not. And then the next fight, you're not gonna look as good. You're not gonna look as good because you're not active, right? So you're not giving us a true assessment of what you can do because you're not giving your chance. You're not giving yourself a chance to stay sharp, right? We're only looking at you once a year. We're only looking at you twice a year. Your skills are not at the apex. You know what I'm saying? We're not seeing the best of you, right? So, you know, that's what we're seeing now, that fighters are taking longer and longer to make fights. You know what I'm saying? Then they're not fighting the top competition. That's another thing that's killing themselves. You killing yourself when you fight lesser competition. You know what I'm saying? Unless you just a person that's going to stay in the gym 247 sparring and shit like that, and staying on top of your skills while you're inactive, right? So it takes a special fighter to do that kind of thing, because these guys, once they start making that money and they start eating cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory and shit. And then they start, saying they hitting these Instagram models, and saying, they start getting a little notoriety, and they start getting away from the craft and the regiment of the lifestyle of a fighter. Then it's kind of like it's hard, it's hard for them to focus. It's hard for them to just stay in that zone where they're going to be the best fighter in that division and shit. So, the more money they make, it breaks a fighter sometimes. We don't get the best product as boxing fans. So the longer and longer they stay out that ring, the worse and worse it's gonna be. Um, so when we see somebody fighting 2, 3 times a year, it's better, man. You know what I'm saying? Because now they have the confidence to go out there and fight the top competition because they know they're active. Um, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of bullshit, what I'm saying, just to see these fighters, once or twice a year. And it's like, God damn, you think you're gonna see the best version of them. Now with Devin, he's staying active. He just fought Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? So, and you can see the difference. And he just fought Regis Prograde, right? So if he can continue to stay active, he's going to get better and better. You're going to even see a different Devin Haney if he keeps on fighting the top competition. He's gonna find things that you never seen before, because that's what comes with being active. You're working on your shit and you're fighting good. You're making good decisions in real time, and that's what's missing. These guys are not being able to be in the ring and make these decisions and adjustments on the fly. That helps you a lot, what I'm saying, in boxing, being able to make adjustments. And if you stay in practice and shit, you'll be able to create things off being active, right? And these guys don't fight enough for that shit. You know what I'm saying? They got to just get themselves back to where they was, what I'm saying, last year or 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of sucked the way boxing going right now. So, I can't say that saying the guy's the best if he's not fighting like that. I think that was part of your boy Demetrius Andrade problem. Not active enough, not fighting the best competition. Then you go in there against a beast like David Benavidez. So you're doing yourself a disservice. Yeah, you got a great payday. I'm happy for you. You know what I'm saying? But you went out there and sold your name and got your ass beat because you wouldn't stay at the top. You wouldn't push your career. You wouldn't stay on top of motherfuckers. And what I'm saying, you went and yelled at Canelo for 2 seconds and went and sat your ass down, right back down. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do a Clubber Lang type situation. You didn't come after him like Keith Thurman went after Paula Malignaggi. You know what I'm saying? You better not duck me, son, type shit. Like, fuck what you talking about, man. Let's get in the ring type shit. And make the boxing public put pressure, what I'm saying, on the person that you want to fight. We don't see enough of that. There's not enough attitude in the sport. There's not enough passion. People are just making business decisions and business moves. And it's like, bro, what I'm saying? It's just killing us out here because now we got to wait 2, 3 years to see the fight that we want to see. And, so when you see a hot prospect like David Morrell Jr. come along, now you want to just throw him into the mix when you know it's not working like that. That's not how boxing is going. Just because you good and just because you have exceptional talent, don't mean you're gonna get the fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we looking right at David Benavidez versus Canelo, and just because you did all the things to get back on track, don't mean you're gonna get that fight. Now you got to go fight another killer. You know what I'm saying? That might dethrone you from everything you work hard for. You know what I'm saying? Everything you worked hard for. You went and beat Plant. You beat what's his name? Demetrius Andrade, right? To position just to have a couple of names so Canelo can't say what he say, you ain't fighting nobody. Now you got to go fight another fucking killer. So let's say David Benavidez goes and beat David Morrell Jr. Let's say he goes out there and knock him out, have a great performance, right? Canelo still ain't gonna fight David Benavidez. How many people think that David Benavidez, if he beat David Morrell Jr., think he gonna get that fight with Canelo? How many people believe that? How many people really believe that? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if he beat Demetrius Bivol. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, David Benavidez could beat Dimitri Bivol. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He could beat the other guy up there. Canelo is never going to fight him. I don't give a damn what you do. What's going on, Bowley Bowley? You want to come up, bro? I've been talking for a minute because this is a David Morrell Jr. Um, sponsor. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come up, you know what I'm saying, tell me why. Tell me why you think David Morrell Jr. beats David Benavidez Bowley. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are high. You and Ghost, y'all are high on David Morrell Jr. beating the Mexican Monster. And I think both of y'all are insane. You know what I'm saying? I just dropped the link for you. You know what I'm saying? I know you want to talk about David Morrell Jr. And I just think y'all insane, man. I just don't see it, bro. I mean, I think he got the ability to beat him, but um, I don't think he'll beat the Mexican Monster. You know what I'm saying? I see the skills and all that shit, but you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to tell me. You're gonna tell me why. You're gonna have to tell me why David Morrell Jr. Beats the Mexican Monster. I just dropped the link for you. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I see that's going on in boxing, man. You know, it's like just too little. Just this fighters are not fighting enough. You know, the PBC just made a deal with Amazon Prime. We all know that. So Amazon Prime is a powerful, powerful, big company, bigger than Showtime, right? Um, so what that tells me is that PBC is they're getting ready to put on some shit. They're getting ready to put on some real fights. And I think most of the fights are going to be pay-per-view. And that means they don't have a lot of pressure, you know what I'm saying, to produce top fights. So I'm pretty sure Boots is going to be a big part of that program. Um, who they're going to put Boots in the ring with, you know what I'm saying, to make that Amazon Prime contract look good for the PBC, I don't know. But when you got a company of size and you just sign, you know what I'm saying, they replacing Showtime, they're gonna have to get it started. So I'm interested to see what the new roster look like for the year for Amazon Prime and PBC. I think it's gonna be a bit I think 2024, y'all, is gonna be a great year for boxing. What's going on, Bowley? Bowley, what's happening, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Paul? Man, I was waiting. I was waiting. Trust me, I was
You hear
waiting for you to come on.
you hear me popping shit up here.
I was waiting. I was waiting for you to come on. I was like, I got my time confused because you said 11 yesterday, but I think we're on different time zones. So I was like, oh, he's not coming
No,
on. Maybe
no,
he's back
I
out
was
here.
late. You know, black people ain't never on time, bro. Come on,
It's
you know,
all good,
I'm
man.
from the hood, bro.
On a Saturday, man, trust me, I know. On a
Well,
Saturday night going into Sunday, we're not gonna make it on time. That's just what it is.
well,
So.
you know, I be editing, man. Y'all, it's incredible how much editing. You know, especially me. I like to make good, nice looking videos, whatever. And it's a lot of editing. I got to make sure the music, because some of my videos, you'll hear some music pop up in that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes so much time. You know what I'm saying, to go look out for that stuff, and so I be making videos and stuff, trying to get
Yeah,
that
I know.
right.
I know
Hmm.
that takes a lot of time. I used to have to do work like that, so I know editing can be a
Oh
little
my
bit more.
God, bro.
It can take some time, and sometimes the computer act up on you. That's the worst. So.
Oh man, So why does David Morrell Jr. beats David Benavidez?
Oh man, I mean you see it. This is why you hear me every time when I talk with you. I always and we discuss this issue. I say, man, Morrell is that guy, and ever since the first time I saw him, I knew how good he was. First time I saw him was PBC on Fox, and I think it was his. I want to say it was his second fight.
Hmm.
You could just see it, man. He's from a different era. I mean, his the way he fights belongs in the '90s. It
Hmm.
belongs in the '90s. He's working with the style and the mentality of fighting that a lot of guys aren't these days, and he has the physicality to go along with it. And the Cuban, you can't just sit there and try to lump him in with the previous Cuban fighters that you saw before. When he steps up, this and this and this is going to happen. Look, you see what's going on. Guys aren't even they can't even stand in front of him. and the adjustments he's making, you can see they don't have the acumen to stick with it, and the results are devastating. The results are devastating. We're seeing it in real time. Benavidez, look, I'm not saying Benavidez couldn't beat Morrell or Morrell is unbeatable. No, it's boxing. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in a fight. But what you're looking at is not ordinary. There's only a handful of guys that you're seeing that are just destroying opponents on a regular basis. Literally a handful. You can name them. Boots, Beterbiev, another one of my guys, Antoine Russell. When he gets in the ring with guys, he hasn't gotten the belt yet, but you're seeing that, and maybe Matias, and Matias is a little bit more of accumulation, but he's hurting guys, but IQ level. I mean, I really think that you're seeing it in very few. And Tank, I'm forgetting about Tank. How could I forget Tank? So
Yeah,
but
you talking about these? You talking about these? But look at these guys on this resume right here. You talking about he's destroying these guys?
Who do you know that's fighting? Look, those are his first.
I mean, look at the screen before you go back mode.
I've
Look
seen
at the
it.
screen.
I've seen those. I watched those fights. I
No,
know
but
the
I'm saying,
records.
are you impressed by Calvin?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, well, tell me.
Yeah,
Okay.
Alan. Let me tell you his best wins, because I told you I watched these fights. Idos, who ended up in a coma. Idos was a really, really good fighter.
I watched that fight. I covered that fight live.
Yeah, yeah. Idos was really good. He was a smart guy. He had the physical capability. Actually knocked out the one guy that went the distance with Morrell. And Morrell took that fight on like 3 weeks' notice in the middle of COVID to win that belt against Lennox Allen. Lennox Allen is another good win. You're talking about guys. You're talking about guys that aren't marketed commercially, but it doesn't mean that they're not world-class fighters. Sena Agbeko has a body.
I never said they're not world-class fighters, but what I'm saying, don't you think there's a distinction between a world-class fighter and a fighter that's at the elite top, like you know what I'm saying, the top 1, 2, or 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like in a real ranking, not the fake ranking. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm talking like somebody who really earned their way into the top 10, beating asses and stuff.
Yeah, these guys.
You know
one thing you know about these guys, they earn their way. Sena Agbeko has a body on his record. Not in Africa, here in this country. He's Caleb Plant's sparring partner. He put a guy in a coma, and the guy died. And the guy died a year later. Shout out to Ashley's Corner, who pointed that out.
I mean, I don't care if he kills somebody. Did you see his boxing ability in the ring?
He couldn't look. A lot of other guys will look that way if they get in there, but they're not gonna get in there. John Ryder was the mandatory for the belt that David Morrell has right now. He was mandatory when Morrell had 3 fights. He declined the fight.
Yeah, because John Ryder is John Ryder. John Ryder sucked, bro. John Ryder, Go ahead.
Who? Oh, no, my bad. Like, who do you think? Okay, so my question is like, besides Benavidez and besides Canelo, who else in that division do you want to put in there?
No, I said it that I want to see them both fight. But what I'm saying is, this is my thing. You know what I'm saying? They already got David Morrell Jr. Beating David Benavidez, right? But what I'm saying is,
go ahead. A little bit.
No, that's not me. That's somebody else.
Oh, what's up, Flossy Sport? What's happening, bro?
What's up with you, bro? I ain't been able to catch the lives lately, bro.
I ain't been on like that. I've been coming on the weekends.
I think, man, we should see it for what it is, man. Although Morrell been fighting lower competition, but I mean, you can just see the skill. You know what I'm saying? You can see.
You could
go ahead. I'm listening. You're on the road. No, who was saying you can see the skill?
Oh no, he just disappeared. So just to go back to what we were talking about the people that Morrell's fighting, like Agbeko didn't just pop out of nowhere. He'd been on Showtime quite a few times on Showbox. He fought Shishkin. He arguably lost that fight. I remember that fight. That was during the pandemic. Man, I thought he was landing more power punches personally. Okay, I don't know about his other loss. That happened I think that was another southpaw. But regardless, like this guy had a 78% KO percentage. He's legit. You can see it even just looking. I mean, the physique isn't everything, but you can see how hard he was punching. Yep. There's no doubt about his power. He's limited, yes. And he was and he's a sparring partner for Caleb Plant. And he survived the camp with Better BF. He was also in camp with Better BF. Look, some guys, they're just not going to get they're not going to get publicized because they're not from a place, they're not from a country where they have a huge backing. Like, you know, Sena's home country originally is Ghana. You know, there's a history of marginalizing fighters from Africa anyway. And Cuba, and even David Morrell, he's Cuban. You know, like at a certain level, usually these guys get marginalized, but his talent level is so overwhelming. Clearly, they're trying to develop his fan base so he can have a chance to succeed when they're ready to put him in with the very top money makers of the sport. You know, that's the whole point. So, I mean, what you think? Do you think Caleb Plant? I mean, I like Caleb Plant a lot. Love his boxing ability. I don't think he makes it out of 5 with David Morrell. I don't.
No, I agree with you.
I don't think he makes it out of 5.
Yeah, I agree with you. But we know what we know about Caleb Plant and what has been exposed about Caleb Plant is he's like Zab Judy. He's like a front runner, right? He's a 6-round fighter. He gasses out. You know what I'm saying? He don't have the stamina to go the rounds with David Morrell Jr. And I think what sets David Morrell Jr. apart is his punching angles and his movement and his power. You know what I'm saying? He got all that shit all in one package. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that in a lot of fighters at the top. Either they got one or two things missing. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see Agbeko, I mean his footwork was terrible, man. I mean his boxing style, his defense, terrible, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got him out of there in 2 rounds, bro. I mean, I can't just say, you know, David is just great. I don't know how much of it is that David Morrell Jr. is just that good, or that that Sena Agbeko is just that terrible. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
so
yeah,
you know,
I agree. Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying, but that was probably your first time watching Agbeko. That was not my first time watching Agbeko.
I mean, if I see a dude come in there and he look like, you know, he doing the funky chicken in the ring. If he look like he doing the funky chicken as a setup, you know what I'm saying? He just don't look. I mean, he just didn't. I mean, I went and watched some of his fights, bro. I went and watched some of his fights, and he looked just as awkward and crappy, you know what I'm saying, in those fights. You know what I'm saying? I went and looked at his fights and stuff. I was like, he's gonna lose in the first 2 rounds, bro. That's what I said. You know what I'm saying?
Guys were running from him though in that ring. Guys were running from Agbeko.
This is 68 still is a weak division, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got to admit that it's still a weak division. Mm-hmm. It's still a weak division. It's not full like 140. It don't have the talent that 140 got. You know what I'm saying? Or at one time 147 had, or 154. It's not packed with talent that anybody can grab a belt and be a champion type shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit is like desolate up there at 168, and you got some standouts. You know, you got David Benavidez. Them the only standout. Canelo. Those are the standouts. You know what I'm saying? These other guys are not making. Well, they're not televising them like they used to. They used to have Tuesday night fights where you could see the other ranked guys and stuff on Tuesday night fights or Friday night fights. You know, you can see ranked guys and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Go at it, and you kind of get a sense of where their skills are. You know, so they don't cover boxing like that anymore. So, you know, people are you got to go back and actually look at the fights through the rankings and stuff now to get the information. So, and a lot of people don't have that kind of time, you know what I'm saying, to do that, you know what I'm saying. But you was able to see, you know, the journeymen that I call them, you know what I'm saying, on the lower level, see how good they actually are, you know what I'm saying. So we don't get to see that unless you go research it and stuff. So I think we're missing that. But I didn't see that in Agbeko. You know what I'm saying? I saw a fighter that just wasn't supposed to be in the ring with a talent like David Morrell Jr. So, but I can't look at that before. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, we I mean, like I said, we had to just disagree on that one because, like I said, I seen Agbeko like live when he was fighting guys, and he's back. He causes look, it's not just.
So is he
like
a top 10? Is he a top 10 talent?
Who, Agbeko?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's top 10 in my opinion. Yeah, he's top. He's 100% top 10. He absolutely is. And like at a certain point, you know, like it's just that the guys that he's fighting, like I said, look, all you have to do is look at where look at the countries where these guys originate from, and you get to understand my position. Eidos is from Kazakhstan, right? Nobody was hyping him up like Triple G, but he was the #1 guy in the WBA. He's the #1 when he got beat. Agbeko's from Ghana, right? All these other guys that Morrell's been fighting, they're not big commercial names, but they're ranked up there. There's a reason why. You're not going to get, you know, Caleb Plant's not. You can't put a Durrell in there. How long do you think Durrell lasts right now against Morrell? Like, there's just certain at this point, it's either you're going to always come up on this problem until you say, okay, well, give him the top guy and let's be done with it. But those guys have to accept the fight first.
Is Agbeko a better opponent than Demetrius Andrade?
At that weight, yes.
Is he a better opponent than Caleb Plant?
More resistance.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is he a better opponent than Caleb Plant?
No.
So, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to see David, you know what I'm saying? Even though I do want to see the fight next, I want to see David, you know what I'm saying, beat some better competition, you know what I'm saying? Just so I can say, you know, I see the talent. I think he could even probably beat David Benavidez at some point. You know what I'm saying? But I want to see it.
Now. You can beat him right now.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see it.
Based upon what though? I don't.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Based upon what, man? It's like
you see him fight guys with zero resistance, and we know he looks good punching on people. But what happens when he get punched in the mouth? We don't know that yet.
Yep,
we have no earthly idea.
If you say he's not,
everybody got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, if you say that, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're not watching the fights, then how you gonna know? He's been punching. He was punching in that fight.
I watched every single fight. Isn't that what he overpowering everybody? Could have? They not that good,
right?
He's been punched. Even in look, I'll give you an example of a guy that he beat in the first round. That Cazares fight, the guy who beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Okay, he fought Cazares.
Cazares was a damn good fighter. Damn good fighter.
No, he's not. He's not that good. But still, like
that was. Wait, you really fought Keith Thurman? I mean, no, you said Chavez Jr. That's right. I'm thinking of
Chavez Jr. Chavez Jr.
I'm thinking the other. Yeah, go ahead.
They thought that it's all good. They thought that this Cazares was something. Because he beat Chavez Jr. So okay, let's put him in there with Morrell.
Morrell Jr. sucked, man. He sucked.
I'm just saying, but that was his claim to fame. They put him in there, and Morrell wiped him out in one round. And that guy got his punches off. He threw hard punches at Morrell. He ate them shits and he gave it right back to him. There's a reason, and to say like, well, he's not going to get hit anybody. Morrell's not a guy who's going to sit there and just let you hit him in the face either. He has defense. That's his advantage.
That's his advantage. Is his
not gonna sit there and just say, punch me. I don't know. I mean,
none of Benavidez opponents plan to get punched in the mouth. The shit just happens.
Yeah,
if you want to tell me that you're more familiar with Benavidez, who I'll give you this. Let me
David Morrell only has 10 fights. I watched every last one of them, bro. You're not gonna pull that shit on me. I watched all the fights.
Morrell's fighting actually real 168 pounders. Benavidez is fighting guys that are coming up.
Bro, Benavidez would have flushed every single opponent Morrell had. That's how weak they are.
He never fought those guys. Would have, could have, should have. They were feeding him 154 pounders, 160 pounders. It's a fact. Go look it up. Did you see Kyron Davis, who fought on the undercard of Morrell on the YouTube portion of that card? That's a guy that Benavidez beat. Now you look at him and you tell me that he's a guy that belongs in there with it. If he had fought David Morrell today, you'd have been saying the same stuff. But that's a guy that Benavidez fought just a few fights ago.
Bro,
Just a few fights ago.
That was a few years ago. Who would win a fight? The Anthony Durrell that Benavidez beat, or Agbeko that Morrell just fought last night?
You're saying that
natural 68 guys. I'm not talking about Kyron Davis. I'm saying going from Agbeko to David Benavidez is a huge jump. That has never been a smart thing to do in the sport of boxing ever. It's never been a smart fight to go from C-level guy to A-level guy in one fight. Nobody does that.
Who you think
he already fought the number one. He's been the champion since the third fight, my friend. The third fight.
So
you understand that he's the champion?
What does that matter?
No, and he's the one. And he's the one fighting the mandatories. It matters a lot because he hasn't been beat.
Bro, he hasn't even fought a B-level guy, let alone A-level. Not
what
even
are you
close.
Talking about?
Who's a B-level guy that he fought?
So you're dissing the whole division then. You're dissing the whole division.
Bro,
68
is a weak division. It's like a 5-man race. It's like a 5-man race. It's one of the weakest divisions in boxing.
Then that's not Morrell's fault. That's not Morrell's fault.
It's one of the weakest divisions in boxing, and the name that you would get credit for, he don't have those either. It ain't his fault that he don't. It's not his fault that he don't have.
He fought either. Benavidez gets no credit either.
You never heard me give him credit for it. All I'm saying is just because it's not your fault that it hasn't happened for you yet, that doesn't change the fact that it didn't happen yet.
So
just because you feel like he's scared enough to do it, I mean it's gonna happen.
So you're basing everything on Benavidez on one fight, Caleb Plant.
I wasn't going around claiming Benavidez to be the king of the division until he started stepping up more competition within his last 2 to 3 fights. I'm not crowning somebody before they do it. I'm going to wait and see, and let's see what happens when he step up and fight this guy type shit. I'm not just giving the shit to him because he looked good against somebody he's supposed to look good against. I'm not doing that. If you ain't done it, you just ain't done it, whether it's your fault or not. Basically, like, you can see everything good offensively, but just assuming that he's going to fight in Billy.
Well, they got to make that fight. Make it. I'll take the
Benavidez fight next. That's easy fucking money.
I wish.
Easy fucking money.
Easy money for who?
Benavidez.
On what basis?
Bro, David Morrell listen to me. David Morrell throws every shot like he's trying to chop a fucking tree down and leave his fucking face open every damn time.
I know you're not watching the fights, bro.
So where am I getting this from I haven't watched all 10 of his damn fights? It's not hard to watch all of his fights. It's not.
You can't even watch all 10. You can watch 9 of them. That's how much I know.
I don't watch every fight he done had, bro.
That's how much I know. The 10 fight is not available.
Tell me
how much I watch the fight, bro.
Tell me he don't throw. Tell me he don't throw all his punches like he's chopping down a fucking tree limb.
This man's work is impeccable.
And he smothered his work on the ropes.
To throw these punches.
He smothered his work on the ropes too.
To throw these punches. Did you see how he broke down Eidos? Eidos was not garbage.
It took him 11 rounds to get out a fucking cab driver. A dude that ain't never fought in the fucking States ever. He's undefeated. He was ranked number 1, but who the fuck did he beat?
No, he's an Olympian. He was rated number 1.
What the fuck does that matter in the pros? Don't mean shit.
Man, it's wild. It's wild.
That don't mean shit on the elite level.
Then boxing, I'll tell you what,
you can be an Olympian all you want to, but if you 16, 17 fights in, if you ain't fought nobody, why does that matter?
So the holy grail for Morrell now is in Billy, according to you, right?
No, I'm saying if you wasn't crowning Benavidez or anybody else within their first 10 fucking fights, why the fuck am I doing it now?
You can look, compare.
I'm never crying to anybody in fucking 10 fights.
Compare Morrell's 10 first fights to Benavidez's 10 first fights.
You got a point there.
You got to be blind to see this. You got to be blind to not see it.
That's like a Lomachenko situation, though, bro. He's getting those title shots.
Compare the 10 first fights.
Okay. You can say that.
Can we pull up the record? Pull up the record and see what it is right now.
You can say that. You got that.
I know, man. It's
all
obvious.
the motherfuckers bombs, though, bro. You can't tell me that both of those guys would have did the same shit to their opponents, bro. He would did the same shit to them opponents. Them motherfuckers not good.
Man, and Billy will maybe because of his height, make it 8 because he's short, and Morrell would have to try to find him. and that guy could maybe duck and run for a little bit. He ain't going nowhere. I've seen that guy fight.
And even if you,
and then you're going to say the same thing.
Even if you compare the first 10 fights, Benavidez is the youngest world champion in super middleweight history.
What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, he did it quick. He did it early.
What do you think will happen to? What do you think will happen to Darrell right now? Again, another guy I really like.
Retired.
I don't even like. Huh?
Darrell is retired.
Okay. Caleb
He doesn't fight anymore.
Caleb Plant. Who else? Canelo. Any of them. Even Canelo.
Caleb Plant gonna run out of gas.
How far does Canelo make it out?
Canelo will dance around for like 8.
And then what?
See, he out. He got gas tank issues.
So you believe that Morrell beats Canelo then, right?
Yeah, and I also believe Benavidez beats Canelo
we don't
too.
need to be arguing then, bro. You realize you understand the same thing I understand then. What are we
just
talking
because I feel like he beats Canelo, that doesn't mean I feel like he beats Benavidez, because I think both of them beat Canelo.
Look, man, we're not going to get around the system. We're not going to get around the system. You guys have to give me a second because I'm putting gas in my car. If there's some ambient sound, but it just is what it is, man. The dude is that dude. Then let's just say that him and Benavidez are the top in the division. We don't need to argue about this. I agree with that.
I never said that he was trash. I just say I don't have him beating Benavidez. That's not saying that the man ain't good. I ain't saying that.
You're questioning everything up and down. I don't have a question. Part of when you watch a guy, is like his acumen. It's obvious that he's not like learning on the job. He's far and above these guys.
Bro, if you only have 10, anybody is going to question somebody with 10 fights, bro. Anybody. It's not just a David Morrell thing.
Same thing, bro.
It's not a David Morrell thing. If you don't have that many fights and you haven't fought the requisite guys yet, whether it's your fault or not, somebody is going to question that. That's not a crime to question that shit. Who is it? You'll be crazy not to.
But you're gonna keep getting these type of fights, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. It's like you asking this guy to come down. It's like you want this guy to come down somehow. From what I heard another guy just like you, except the difference is this guy had a channel. I said, oh man, I can't wait for I can't.
What I'm supposed to do, because I'm not singing his praises, I'm downplaying him.
Look, man, all I'm saying is we're pretty much saying the same thing. I mean, I don't even know what we're arguing about, really.
It's a good fight, but I think Benavidez beats him. And when he beat him, and if it don't go the way that people think, they're gonna say that's cool. And if he beats David Morrell, they're gonna say that motherfucker too green. It should have got more experience before the fucking fight happened. I don't give a fuck. The fight can happen next for all I want to. I don't care.
Because he's in a weak division, like you said. He's in a weak division. There's nobody else for him to fight.
But you already know how shit go. People say one thing, then when it don't go the way that they want it to go, not saying you, but the general consensus, when it don't go a way that people thought it was gonna go, they gotta find a way to find the reason why it didn't happen that way.
And who cares? Just make the fight.
If Benavidez is not fighting Morrell next, but not fighting Canelo next, I'd love to see a Morrell fight. But that's a tricky situation. That's a tricky situation in itself, because Benavidez's only way to a Canelo fight is a mandatory situation. If you fight Morrell and beat Morrell and become the WBA regular champion, that automatically takes you out the WBC rankings because you're a title holder. So you no longer have that position to be the mandatory at all.
Let me give you a little psychology about what people have been talking about. When Benavidez and his dad first caught wind of Morrell, they said, okay, we'll fight anybody. We'll fight anybody. Okay, this was the first fight this is right after the first fight. This is right after the first fight. Just let me finish. This is after the first fight that Morrell had with Ronnie Shields. Ronnie Shields said, no, pump your brakes. I was on KQKC's channel when he did the interview about this, because we were like, no, put him in with Benavidez now, which sounds crazy, but everybody's seeing it. He's ready now. Ronnie said, no, pump your brakes. Let me see what he has first. This is after the only one fight that he had with Morrell. After 3 fights, he said he's ready. And then all of a sudden, the Benavidez story changed. No, we're about to go up to 175 and fight Bivol. We're going to do all this. I'm not saying they're scared. Even I get it. I said this yesterday on the channel. I said, I get it. Benavidez is just starting to sell tickets. He's starting to see some money. They're not going to put him in there with Morrell at this point, and I'm cool with that. But to sit there and be like, man, Morrell ain't fighting nobody. No, he's fighting the best that's available right now. And Billy, that's one guy, and he's on another promotion. If they want to make that fight, I'm sure they'll make it in a heartbeat, in a finger snap. And there's nothing else to really say about it.
Whether it's your fault or not, it doesn't happen. It doesn't change the fact that it hasn't happened.
He's in the same position that Benavidez is in. He's fighting Canelo's mandatories, and he's been doing it for years now. You can say it's just 10 fights, but he's been champion since his 3rd fight, and this is his 10th fight. So that means 7 fights he's been fighting as a WBA champion, and he's the one fighting the mandatories, just like Tank is. He's not the super champion; he's a regular champion, or interim, whatever. He's fighting. He's fighting whoever the sanctioning body is like. You need to fight this guy. He's like, okay, send him here. And some guys are turning down the opportunity. If you say John Ryder is trash, well, he turned down the fight. Whatever. He fought Canelo. That's who's available. They asked Andre about fighting Morrell. They asked Andre about fighting Morrell, and he's like, man, come on, man. I want to fight commercial guys. Cool. I get it. I'm cool with that. Even you tell me Caleb Plant not going to fight him next, I understand. That guy's on at 30. We know probably how that fight's going to go. It's not going to generate a lot of money for him. Cool. I get it. But don't say he's not fighting the best available or, oh, well, look who he's fighting. Man, he's fighting the top guys. He's fighting a lot of the guys that even those guys don't want to fight.
I'm not making a reason to not make the fight. I'm just saying going from the guys that he's fighting to an A-level fighter is a big ask. I want to see the fight. I care less. I'm the type of person, if you're not willing to fight the best fighters, I can't be a fan of yours. That's just how
we're going with eye test anyway. What does Benavidez do? What does Benavidez do better than Morrell right now? Tell me that.
He's faster, better combination puncher. His jab is stiff, and he got the best punch placement in the fucking division.
Then if he had the best punch placement, he'd be getting out guys a lot quicker like Morrell is.
Bro, he's the most accurate puncher in the sport of fucking boxing. Literally.
Bro, he's a volume puncher. He is a volume puncher. The first fight
no. Hold on. I got to stop you there. When you look at who lands the highest percentage of their punches in the sport of boxing, he's one of the only volume punchers on the fucking list, and he's number 1. Everybody else that land a high percentage of their punches don't go nowhere near the volume.
Guarantee that Morrell has a better connect percentage than Benavidez. You can guarantee that. You can guarantee he has a better. I'm not saying he throws more punches than Benavidez. He doesn't, but he definitely has a better connect percentage.
That's what makes
when it comes to power punches.
That's what makes. Man. He's one of the top. He like top 5 in power punch connect percentage too.
He's not up there with Morrell.
Bro, I just checked this shit like a month ago.
Look. If you want it, this is my point about when Benavidez came up. This is why people bring lower division.
This is why people bring up who he fought with. People like, he's getting these guys out here quickly. Motherfucker, he's supposed to. He's supposed to.
Was Benavidez supposed to get Kyron Davis out early?
He was supposed to, yeah.
Did he do that?
They stopped the fight.
He was still on his feet, right? And it went past 6 rounds, right?
That just mean the motherfucker too.
And he came up from a lower division, right?
So what? David Lemieux gave more resistance than Agbeko.
It's not like I'm just sitting and watching Morrell's fights. I watch all the Benavidez fights. I've been watching these fights. Didn't Benavidez get dropped by Gavril in the 12th round?
He got dropped by a fucking jab.
Have you ever even seen Morrell even stunned in a fight? It's easy to question guys. Look, it's easy to question guys who've been Cubans have been marginalized in boxing for a long time. This is nothing new. This is my whole point. If you want to doubt, continue to doubt. I'm not going to sit here and argue to convince you or not, because I'm not going to convince you. I know that.
You bring us. You
say he marginalized though? I mean, I think he's a great talent. I mean, you can see. I think he got more skills.
Cubans are they've been marginalized, especially after what Lara did to Canelo. They were like, nope.
You mean by
how long did it take Ortiz to get a legit fight? Until Wilder gave Ortiz that fight, those 2 fights. If it wasn't for Wilder, man, Ortiz would have been fighting a whole bunch of who'd he fight? That's what they said for a long time. Come on, man. You don't got to think hard about this.
that's more due to his danger, the threat that he brought to the division. You know, Ortiz could have beat
And
any
where
of
he's
those guys.
from.
I think he was the biggest. He was the biggest threat out of all of them. Joe Parker, it didn't matter. Even goddamn, even AJ didn't want none of goddamn Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? They avoided him too. So you know, I mean, that's the way boxing is going now. They're not fighting the toughest dudes out there. They're avoiding them. You know what I'm saying? They're not giving these guys the shots. And it wasn't because he's Cuban. It's because that motherfucker was powerful and good and mean. I mean, they call the
If he
nigga
was,
King Kong.
if Ortiz was Mexican, he'd have been had a bunch of fights, regardless of
Not
whatever.
fight, not laying out motherfuckers the way he was. They
Yeah, he
wouldn't. They
would.
would have
He would
stayed.
get it because
They would keep AJ away because AJ couldn't
AJ's different.
withstand what Ortiz
AJ's
got.
from the UK.
Ortiz
He's
got
a huge
skills,
commercial
bro.
property.
Ortiz
And he
got more
wasn't.
skills than AJ. AJ wasn't up to the task to fight Ortiz back then. AJ was still developing, man. You know what I'm saying? He still don't have the heart that Ortiz has. You know what I'm saying? Ortiz is one of them old school motherfuckers, man. I think he's a lot older. Them Cubans, they may be 25 on their birth certificate, but they be like 35 and shit in real life. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I think they really avoided Ortiz and tried to age him out because you know he started getting fights at the end, but they didn't want to let him in on that big money that was being made when Tyson Fury and all them guys was going through there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's because it's Cuban though. I just think it's because he's a damn threat. He's a damn really great fighter, and I think he missed his place in history too for being froze out. You know what I'm saying? So you know it
I
just
mean,
depends on how you look. You know, if you're a threat to the cash cow or to the promoter's best guy, they're not gonna fight you. They're not gonna
this
let you have access to them. And you know that.
this is why
You know that.
I give the promoters and the people who are behind Morrell a lot of credit because they saw his talent and they said this guy is too good. They moved him out of Miami. They put him in Minnesota so he doesn't get caught up in that mess down there. He has a fan base that they're trying to build, and it's gonna take time to build the fan base. You got to get the money up.
Hmm.
If he was on the same level as far as like Benavidez popularity, I think that fight happened. Like it would happen tomorrow, but
Yeah,
it's just not
yeah,
there
I
yet.
agree with that.
So
I agree
so
with that. I
that's
agree
the
with that.
real issue. That's the real issue. Skills wise, there's no question. You can't at a certain point. If you're a boxing fan that's been watching boxing for a long time, like a lot of us have, then you're gonna have to take him at eye test. It's like Boots. You can sit there and nitpick with Boots. Well, who's Boots fought? Is Boots in a weak division?
Well, I want to put this to you. That's why Canelo ran up from 160 to 168 because you know the division started getting some talent in there. You know what I'm saying? Once the talent start, just like you know what I'm saying. I was gonna say Triple G, but he ran to a weak division because he could be undisputed in. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying. If you look at boxing like that, you know what I'm saying these guys they're not really trying to go through the gauntlet like Errol Spence Jr. did. They're not trying to fight the top talent. You know what I'm saying? Because when you fight the top talent in any division, each fight takes a lot out of you, and these fighters don't seem to be as durable as the fighters in the past. You know, so you could see like Marvin Hagler like fought all these guys who are not household names, but they were tough ass dudes, right? But each fight took a lot out of Marvin Hagler because he fought this life and death type, you know what I'm saying, rock'em sock'em type fights and shit, you know what I'm saying, before Sugar Ray seen John Beast Mugabe and he decided to fight this guy because he went through a war, right? So, you know, boxing ain't built like that no more, you know what I'm saying? Like you see Canelo avoided David Benavidez and shit, you know what I'm saying? So we're not going to see that type of shit happen. So so what I'm saying is that David Morrell, he's going to have to wait, man, because that's the way boxing is going. Now, I want to see the fight next. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just comparing it to how these guys are moving now. That's what I'm comparing it to. And you can't, David been waiting for that Canelo fight forever. You know, so if you take this fight with David Morrell Jr., he might get knocked out everything he's been trying to work for. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that is right, but shit, my man been waiting forever to get that Canelo fight, and he got the fucking belts. You know what I'm saying? He got all the goddamn belts. You know what I'm saying? So something got to give. Either give David Benavidez that shot, or then he goes on to fight David Morrell Jr. But for them to have to knock each other off kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's going to
I
have to be the
agree.
next fight. But that's going to
I
have to
think
be the
he's
next
gonna
fight.
move up. I think he's gonna move up, man, because
Well,
we can't
well, if
we can't dance
you
we
think,
can't dance around what it is. Like he's gonna want to continue his main opposition, his comparison, his fan base that he's trying to gain is the same fan base as Canelo, and he's trying to take over for Canelo. So
if Canelo fight him, he will. If Canelo go
but he
ahead and
doesn't want
fight
to do that. That's why That's why he's talking about going to fight Bivol. You don't hear them mentioning Beterbiev. That they'll mention Bivol. They're very quiet about Beterbiev, which I'm
Hey,
again.
that's a business play to mention Bivol instead, though.
Yeah, they'll talk because
WBC not gonna sanction a undisputed fight with Bivol, so you might as well go get him first.
Either way,
I mean,
but Bivol is the guy that they're mentioning, and if Benavidez, this is the funny part. It makes me laugh, but this is what David Morrell said about if Benavidez moves up, what he's going to do. Do you know what he said he's going to do? He said he's going to follow his ass up there. Hey, it is what it is, man. Morrell said he's going to follow him up to 175. So he's got that old school mentality. You're not going to convince this guy otherwise. He wants who he wants. It is what it is. If the sport was in a healthier place right now, these guys are all looking for money. They got to make these commercial fights. At least we got to the point where they're making these big fights. Now we got to get to the point where these fighters are going to say it's viable for me to fight the best or whoever. Like if the sanctioning bodies can order this fight and it's a legit, like that guy's legit number one, then he's going to have to fight the number one. But right now, that's not where the sport is. It's not that healthy.
So I think he got. I mean, I just want to see David get a shot, man, before he get knocked off, because David Morrell Jr. is a threat. You know what I'm saying, to knock him out the way and everything. And it's like I want to see him get a shot at Canelo, because I think he deserves it. And it look like it'll just suck if he has to play by the rules and Canelo don't. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's just kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And he got to go out there and fight killers, and Canelo don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because he Canelo.
Same position. I wish he just dropped the belt.
You know what I'm saying? I just hate that shit, bro. It's like, damn, this man done fought 3 eliminators, waiting in the wings. He's been respectful. You know, say Canelo like, fuck that. Who have you fought? You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? That's the way boxing going now, though. It says, let me see what Robin and Emily Jones say. He say Morrell has to bring something of value to the table. He said, I don't care how much you like him, it is what it is. And you know what I'm saying? And that's true, man. You know what I'm saying? If it's good for the gander, it's good for the goose. Everybody's playing by these rules, I want to see the fight next, but you know what I'm saying, as far as him deserving or demanding the shit, no, bro. David been in that position forever. He says, full kind of box, everyone in the chat, he said, you think who would win, Jamel Charlo versus David Morrell? Your thoughts? David Morrell, I think, will destroy Jamal, because Jamal ain't in no condition right now. He's gonna have to get a few fights under his belt. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to get active to beat somebody like David Morrell. And Morrell is very versatile, as you can see. He moves like a damn welterweight in there, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, angles.
And they have the same trainer.
What'd you say?
They got the same trainer. They're not going to fight each other.
I think both of the Davids stopped Jamal.
Yeah. These are naturally big. Look at the shoulders on this kid, man.
You can argue both Davids could be at 75 right
now. Yeah. I was just trying to pull up the goddamn rankings.
Even though it don't look like Morrell rehydrated as much as Benavidez does, but Morrell is like aesthetically the bigger person.
Like heavyweight.
Well, he fought in the amateurs at 178.
Who fought in the amateurs at
Morrell.
Who you say?
Morrell.
Okay, so he's naturally big up there like that.
Yeah, that's his size. Yeah, he's right. He's right where he's been for a while. So.
Hopefully Morrell don't make the same mistake that everybody else made, trying to rehydrate too much when he fight David.
Nah, he's fighting. You can tell. Look at how he moves in there.
Yeah, he's very light on his damn feet.
I just saying, I like Morrell, but it all looks sexy to somebody get hit.
Yeah, maybe we get lucky and with them going to Amazon, we're starting to see better fights. We saw a lot better matchups this year. Maybe they go to Amazon, that new money comes in, and they can make it financially viable and I wouldn't be Canelo money, but maybe it'll be like a good 8-figure payday for Benavidez that he's fighting Morrell.
My hope is that
Morrell's getting a lot of traction on Spanish channels, by the way, on Spanish-speaking channels.
I just hope they put the pressure on PBC to make the fights that they want to see, seeing that they only got 13 dates to start out.
And if Morrell loses, he loses. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we're talking about prize fighting, right? So they're fighting for a prize. The good thing is, like I'm telling you, they're going to a new platform. Morrell gets a lot of press. If you type in Morrell's name in a search, and you see all the Spanish channels that cover Morrell and Benavidez, they're getting views in the thousands. So, hopefully that's going to be the case. But at the end of the day, Benavidez camp has to also say yes. Morrell's already signed for the fight. He signed for the fight a long time ago. So there's nothing else to say at this point. You can just.
I feel like it's 1-1, man. They turned down each other. They turned down each other.
He didn't turn him down. He said he wants to fight. He's been saying he wants to fight.
If your team turns down the fight, they
already signed for it. They confirmed he already signed for the fight. Even Samson Lickowitz himself. That was the second time around, bro.
That was the second time around. The first time around.
Okay, so at 4-0, Morrell's team said he's not ready. That's cool. What 4-0 guy do you expect to fight Benavidez at that point? But you heard the fighter himself say, "I want to fight." So I don't know what point you're trying to make, my friend. That part I don't understand.
Can't use the number of fights when it benefits you.
Oh, okay. So at 4-0, cool. You want that? At 4-0, they said no. At 6-0 and 7-0, they said yes. Okay.
What's the difference? What's the difference in 2-3 fights?
Like that? Cool. You can have that. Oh, at 4-0, they said no. But at 7-0, they said okay. Well, all right.
What's the difference in
now he's at 10-0.
What's the difference in them
10-0? Where are they at now?
I'm saying, what's the difference in them 2 or 3 fights? If they
I'm sorry. It's funny.
Now, let me ask you guys a question. Who on this list can David beat? You know what I'm saying? If he moved up to 175, who can he beat? I forgot
David Benavidez or David Morrell? You talking about Benavidez or Morrell?
Anyone? Both of them.
Better be the toughest fight. Benavidez to me.
Yeah.
I think Morrell's the best at both. I think Morrell's the best at both weights, and I think for Benavidez, I think the troubling fight for. I think the troubling fight for Benavidez is Beterbiev, but I think he beats the rest of these guys.
Oh my goodness.
That's why people keep calling Morrell fans crazy.
But look here. I mean, this division ain't that strong either. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit. Man, look at the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Better be a bad motherfucker. Demetrius Bivol, but the rest of them, Callum Smith, y'all ain't got no stamina. Now, Boasi, I have forgot about him. I haven't seen his fights lately. I ain't seen what he been looking like. But he's sharp now. He's sharp, motherfucker. But he is a UK fighter. I mean, yeah, he's a bad motherfucker.
The same guy that we're talking about, Sena Agbeko, was also a sparring partner for Beterbiev as well. So whatever that's worth to you, he's a sparring partner for Plant. He's a sparring partner for Beterbiev. But again, that don't mean nothing to you guys, so it's not gonna matter. So I guess Morrell and Benavidez got to go to heavyweight. They guess they got to go to heavyweight. And then who's at heavyweight? Who's at heavyweight now? I don't know. Ain't nobody at heavyweight. We know there's nobody at cruiserweight, right? Nobody wants to sit and watch cruiserweight, bridgerweight.
Don't mean shit. It ain't like I'm running around talking about Benavidez spar Triple G, because that shit don't matter.
It does matter to an extent. It does matter because it does because you're talking about their acumen. It does matter to some extent. We don't need to see it.
All the time to get their ass whooped in a real fight. That shit don't mean too much.
Yeah, but the difference is that you're seeing these guys also perform. It's not like Sena Agbeko had a losing
box, my nigga. Like
it's not like Sena Agbeko had a losing record. The dude had a body on his record and a 78% KO percentage. He had a body on his record and a 78% KO percentage. I don't know what they weren't talking about it, but it's true. So I don't know what else. Like I said, we can't magically snap our fingers and make super middleweight all of a sudden welterweight. The same arguments that you're making against Morrell, you can make the same arguments against Boots right now. Except that Boots had to be given his belt because guys weren't going to fight him.
Bro, we talking about a dude with 30 fights that was just on fucking Showbox's last fight, bro. Literally. On a developmental promotion, my nigga. If it was that great, he would have been on somebody.
So who did Boots fight? So who did Boots fight?
I ain't bring up Boots. You did.
I brought up Boots. Who did Boots fight?
I ain't bring up Boots.
So you agree with me there too. So again, you're agreeing with me, but it sounds like you're just opposing for the sake of opposing.
No, I'm not.
All of boxing is apparently trash now. All of boxing is gone. There's nothing. There's nothing for nobody. There's only like 2 or 3 guys that can really fight. Or if you're not making the top dollar, it don't matter. And if you're not at the very top of the sport, making the very upper echelon of money, it don't matter. You don't fight anybody unless you're that very top guy. And then you can choose who you want to fight anyway, right? Mandatories don't matter. That's where we're at, right? So the guy underneath who fights all the mandatories and does your dirty work ain't shit. But you get to sit up there and pick and choose who you want to fight, and you are shit.
I ain't say that.
Well, that's what you leaving me to. I'm making a whole lot of points. You're agreeing with my points, but then you're saying that you don't agree. So to me, I'm not picking him to win. You making it about some other shit. You agree with me. From what I say, you agree with me. I'm just speaking with a little more animus in terms of my tone, but
I just told you I'm not picking Morrell. You talking about all the other shit. I ain't saying
that's cool. I'm not disputing. You can pick Benavidez.
All the other shit is all you, my guy. I ain't saying shit about
Benavidez and Morrell are at the top. So I agree. They're the top 2. You don't agree that he wins? That's fine.
I ain't saying shit
about none of the other shit. I want to see the fight. I don't want to debate it. That's why I'm not arguing that. I want to see the fight. And the points that I'm making, they are legit. Like at 4 fights, they said, "Well, you will fight him." Now it's like, well, we're gonna go to 175, which I'm cool with. I want these guys to get paid. I want them to have the biggest bag, all that stuff. I agree.
All I'm saying, bro, them saying no the first time still count when on fight 4 to fight 10, the level of competition really hasn't fucking changed. It ain't like he was fighting nobody at fight 4 and he fighting world beaters at fight 10. He's still fighting the same level of competition, so it's pretty much the same.
Who's above the top guy in the division? If the WBA ranks a guy number 1 and he fights him, what else is there to do?
And we know all number 1 contenders ain't created equal. We all know that.
So you're saying
you don't see me running around talking about David Benavidez's resume or no shit like that. I just talk about the 1 or 2 good guys that he did fight. I ain't bring up everybody else because them motherfuckers want all that great. I ain't bring it up at all.
I'm just glad that you're not saying they should have kept that fight going longer for Agbeko's sake. I'm glad that he can still have a career. So maybe we can see who he is more going forward. You know, they saved him last time.
You can say what you want to about them bringing fighters up for Benavidez, but Lemieux put up more resistance.
Agbeko's been fighting at 168. You can't say that they brought him up.
Lemieux did better.
Who?
David Lemieux did better. David Lemieux made it to the 3rd round. And he had some type of accomplishments about himself, at least.
He came up from a lower division. He's a middleweight. He's a career middleweight.
He already had like 2 knockouts at 68 before that fight happened. That wasn't his first fight at 68.
He's a career
middleweight. That wasn't his first fight at 68, though. That was like his third fight.
They brought him up because of name recognition. That's why they brought him up.
But it ain't brought up if he already had like 2 or 3 fights at 68 already. And he had knockouts at 68, bro.
How far does Lemieux get in a fight? Look, I'm not even for. I don't bring up people like this.
He'll get just as far as fucking Agbeko. That's what I'm saying. Neither one of them ain't shit. He offered no resistance. He was clumsy as fuck. He was throwing slap punches and leaving his fucking head out there all fucking day.
And Agbeko fought guys on the way up, like Steen, like Shishkin. These are guys that are ranked, that are up at the top, that had expectations upon them. He fought these guys in the 168 division on the way up.
Bro, all you got to do is turn on the tape, and you know Agbeko had no chance in hell.
Watch. You saying you watch. I don't hear you bringing up no names. You don't bring up no names at all.
I get sick with this shit. That nigga's fucking trash.
I'm not even looking.
He's fucking trash.
I'm not even looking at a box rec because I watched these fights.
I watched his last 3 fights. That motherfucker trash.
There's a difference between the way you talk.
He made the same mistake last night as he did in the last 4 fucking fights. The motherfucker trash. He's trash.
There's a difference in the way I talk about him and you talk about him.
He squares up and he uncoordinated than a motherfucker. He made the same mistakes every goddamn fight. Every fight. Literally every fucking fight. He went from a fucking showbox card to a main event on Showtime. He didn't go from showbox to a prelim to an undercard to the main thing. They pulled that motherfucker for showbox. That's worse than pulling a nigga from 60. He went from fucking showbox to the main thing to be a fucking showcase. That's what happened.
Showbox is where Wilder fought. Showbox is where Spence fought. These are where
they didn't go for showbox, bro. They didn't go for showbox to a fucking title fight.
Look, man,
that's the fucking difference. They didn't go for showbox to a fucking title fight. That's different. He looked like shit his last fight. He could barely press without fucking falling over.
Do you know how many guys? Because you need to update your software. A lot of guys have been going straight up from showbox in the title fights, and they win it. In lower divisions that don't have commercial. Look, in divisions that don't have commercial value. This is what's been going on.
Well, excuse the fuck out of me because I don't put enough stock in a motherfucker that was on fucking showbox the last generation. The last fight. It ain't like it was a couple years ago, a couple fights ago. Motherfucker, was his last fight.
It sounds good, man, but I'm sitting here and quoting fights and giving examples. Tell
me why I told a lie.
All you giving is ridicule back. You're not talking on my level right now, bro.
Where did I lie? Tell me where I told a lie.
You're not talking on my level. What you're doing is using a lot of innuendo and ridicule. That's it. That shit don't fly with me, bro. That shit don't fly.
Did I lie?
I sat and let you do it.
Did I lie? Did I tell you a lie?
I sat and let you do your thing.
Yes or no?
All you doing is countering what I'm telling you.
I tell you a lie.
Any examples, your shit is falling flat. So
did I tell you a lie? Yes or no?
You give me examples.
Did I tell you a lie? Did I tell you a lie? Yes or no?
I've been saying what I've been saying.
Apparently I didn't tell a fucking lie because you keep talking.
Innuendo, ridicule. Hey, bro, you're not smarter than me at this. Trust me, you're not. You're not.
Tell me what I told you that was a lie.
You're not smarter at me than this, bro. I'm telling you.
You see how you can't tell me this shit, Paul? You can't tell me what lie I told.
I'm not
what lie did I tell?
Questions. I've been giving examples.
Nothing I said was a lie.
Look, at a certain point, it's like when somebody keeps punching and punching. You don't respond.
Somebody let me know.
You don't got no answers, man.
Answers for what? Motherfucker, I told you the man looked the same way his last 4 fights. He was on showbox his last fucking fight. And he already lost 2 fights already.
No, you did, nigga. I'm giving you all the information,
that's
bro.
How I bet the fucking money slip between rounds 1 and 5 for the knockout, dumbass. I watched that.
I'm very aware of what you're doing.
All right, let's check this out.
I'm very aware. You're not on my level, bro. I'm sitting here talking to you.
You eating Morrell.
Gentlemen, let's move on because we just going in circles right here because y'all just disagree. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no biggie. What did y'all think? I want y'all to, let's switch venues because y'all not gonna win this. Y'all just gonna go back and forth. So ain't no big deal. Let's just move on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just very passionate. It ain't no winners or losers. You know. So let's just move on to the next. I'm gonna unmute you guys. My bad. Let me unmute you guys, and we're just gonna move on to the next one because y'all just gonna go back and forth in circles. So, um, what do y'all think of that fight with Jose Valenzuela knocking out Colbert? What did y'all think about that? I thought that shit was amazing, bro.
That shit was funny.
Man, what do you think, Bowley?
Man, to be honest with you, I think that Colbert has gotten, Colbert is not training the way he used to train. His footwork, he's a guy that his past skill was based upon his footwork, his speed. He never really had power, but he had a lot of good movement. He threw in combination, and he was also fighting at lower weights. But at a certain point, like you could even hear the way, he was talking about his boxing and saying, at a certain point he was talking about, he's going to retire early and he's got chicken business and he's got all these things going on. And the red flag for me was look, I'm a big Wilder fan. You know that. I never liked what he said about Wilder, but it was that in itself was also very telling. A lot of this boxing stuff, it goes to people's heads sometimes. And I think he's got a lot of other obligations. Otherwise, the guy had the skills. He had a lot going on, but he don't got that power to sit there and make a guy respect him like the guys we've been talking about. He's not going to knock nobody backwards. So if his footwork and his movement and his skills aren't on point, then you're going to see what's been happening in the last few fights. And it's gotten worse. I didn't think he won the last fight, and we know he didn't win this fight. And Valenzuela, it's yet to be determined about Valenzuela. Did he really recover from that fight with De Los Santos? Does he still have the chin to fight a real lightweight and to take punches?
Yeah.
In there, he's talking about Tank. He better pump the brakes on that.
What you think, Floss? What you thought about that, man?
On this topic, we totally agree. My God, I feel like Rayo did what he should have did in the first fight, man. I don't know. Colbert wasn't listening to his trainer. He ended up trying to show how tough he is, knowing that you ain't got popped like that, fighting a bigger guy. And he just got caught being undisciplined. The IQ was trash. And shit, I think both of them, neither one of them need to fight Tank Davis. No way. And Rayo need to get his lick back for Edwin before he's talking about fighting Tank.
But I don't think he's from that performance last night. I don't think Rayo could beat Dos Santos. Dos Santos, he looked like he's just naturally the better fighter, man. I mean, just his quickness, his ability to counter fast. I think Rayo beat for them counters, and it's like I think Santos is a bad motherfucker, man. Rayo didn't show me. He just showed me he was bigger and stronger than Chris Colbert, and that didn't look like the same Chris Colbert, man. That looked like a dude that was suffering from some PSD or something. The way he was balling up and the way he was taking a beating and shit at the beginning, I was like, what is going on? Chris usually moved way better than that, man. His feet is way better than that, and that's how he survived. In the fight is by moving and boxing, and he just looked like he was defeated last night. I don't know if he just got caught with something, and he just, he just started going downhill from there, but he just didn't look like himself, man. Maybe 135 is just a little bit too big for him. He looked like he need to go back down maybe a couple of weight classes because he looked like a kid up in there getting beat up by a high school, like a middle schooler get beat up by a high schooler up in there. And I think once Jose realized he was stronger than him, he just took his time, man, and just broke his ass down till he caught him with that leaping right hook. And I'm talking about, wasn't that shit like horrendous how he went down, bro? He went down like Manny Pacquiao and shit. Just except he wasn't on the rope, he just kind of just caved in on the ropes and then fell on his damn head, and his head bumped on the canvas, and motherfucker rolled over on his stomach. I was like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of outshined the main event to me.
Hey, Paul, you know where Edwin De Los Santos was before he fought Valenzuela?
Well,
Showbox.
Somebody, yeah, he's a
Showbox.
bad motherfucker, man.
Yeah, he fought on Showbox, man. He fought on Showbox. Fought William Foster on Showbox, and he lost on Showbox. And then he came back. I forgot who he was. He fought another guy on Showbox. Came back, won that fight, and he was a late replacement. He was a late replacement for the guy that was supposed to fight Valenzuela. That was on the Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz card, like the last PBC on Fox card that they. I think that was the last one. I don't know. There might have been one more, but that's how he came up, and he ended up fighting Rayo. And he got knocked. Rayo knocked De Los Santos down in that fight. By the way, he knocked De Los Santos down in that fight. Yeah, he's got power, and you know Rayo is famous. Rayo's fame came from allegedly beating up Tio and knocking him down in sparring. So,
I mean, Del Santos, man, it's just some fighters, man. They just got that extra gear or that extra skill set. Because I don't think Stevenson want to fuck with Del Santos in a second fight. I think they should run it back. You know, saying Stevenson, he didn't look confident. You think something was wrong with Stevenson hand in that fight? Or do you think it's just whatever he went through in sparring with that kid, saying he got knocked out, kind of shook his confidence? Do you think Santos deserved a second fight, or Stevenson, like anything was wrong with him or whatever?
You asking me?
Both of you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can't put. Imagine it. Okay, this is what I would say. Imagine if it's your money pool. You put up all that money for that fight. You packed in that arena. You made this pitch to all the F1 the Formula One business people. They showed up. They put the fight on ESPN, and that's what you got. Are you gonna now? You don't have Formula One and ESPN to bring De Los Santos over from PBC again to put that money up. You gonna put your own money up to make that fight again and sell it to the people? It's your money. It's your money
hell no! I mean, I thought the fight was trash, but I'm talking about skill matchup, man.
I wish we could. I wish we could.
But from a skill set level, who you think will win in the second fight? Let's put it that way. Who y'all think will win? Well, I mean, Flo, what you think?
I think Shakur should win again, and I would want to see it because that kind of show me like, okay, was your hand really hurt, or you just scared of the power? Cause I can't tell a fighter if he's really hurt or not. Right. I don't really know. I just know that wasn't the fight that I wanted to see. I was disappointed.
And I think this was the opponent to really set off Shakur's career, because he had a really game guy. You know, say that boxing fans respect. I think this would have put him over the top over a lot of tank opponents and a lot of Devin opponents. You know, because Santos he's one of those guys that got a lot of athletic ability, a guy that's really dangerous. And I think if Stevenson would have went out there and showed out and showed us what he got, man, I think it would have put him on another level fighting this kind of fight. And I think he kind of blew it with that performance that he gave us. So, and you notice he is quiet his ass down. He ain't been all in everybody's face, you know what I'm saying, since his performance, you know. So I just think the top dudes need to get in there with some solid guys, man, and really build their resume the way the old school. Even if you lose one or two, you know what I'm saying, it'll make you a better fighter. They don't seem to understand that. They so worried about the accolades and worried about the business and the marketing and shit, you know what I'm saying, of being undefeated. You know what I'm saying? It's really making boxing suffer, because you can't get better if you don't go in there with the top competition, you know what I'm saying, and like really, you know what I'm saying, learn from experience, you know. And we're seeing it in the fights, you know what I'm saying. They going in there scared to really, you know, say, put it on the line, man. And if that wasn't the case, him and Frank Martin would have gotten it on. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of like, man, these guys got to look at boxing a little bit different, because they're not going to develop well, because they're going to go to the top and they're going to fight somebody real, and they're going to get their ass knocked out and shit, because they're not really fighting nobody. And I think in some ways Well, I can't say that about Tank because he did go up to 140 and fought Marius Boreals, but he has so many abilities. We just want to see it in action before the nigga get old, and that's what I want to see with a lot of these young fighters to start mixing it up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just hanging back and arguing over deals and getting 10% and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But getting back to your boy here, Chris, I think you need to hang it up, man, or either go to a lighter weight class, try it out there, see how he look, or he just needs to go ahead and retire because he looked terrible, and he looked like he was shell shocked and shit in there. And it's possibly because he's at a division that's too much for him. Take his ass back down to 126 or 130 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't have the defense for 135. He just don't have the legs or the ability to box at 135 with these guys. You know what I'm saying? As far as Jose Venezuela, he needs to work on his shit, man, because he's gonna get his ass beat when he move. If he move up one more step, he gonna get destroyed. You know what I'm saying? He needs to work on that defense. You know what I'm saying? Work on his feet. You know what I'm saying? Work on his ability to his explosiveness, man, because he looked slow as shit to me last night. So that's pretty much what I had to say about that fight. What do y'all thought about that Bam fight?
That was the best fight I watched all night.
Man, that shit was hot, wasn't it?
Bam showed hard, but I think he fought the wrong. I mean, not Bam. I think Sena showed hard, but he fought the wrong game plan, man. Like, as soon as he got to standing there with him, and I seen Bam start going to the body, like, yeah, it's only a matter of time. You're gonna wear him down.
I mean, did you see how many body shots he took, bro? Did you see how many? Oh God,
took
man,
way too many.
His ass. Woo, man.
And I done seen Sonny get tired in the later rounds before then, but against people that wasn't going to the body exclusive like that. So it was only a matter of time in that situation.
And when we switched over from David Morrell to it, man, this was just when that was the same round he got cut in. You know what I'm saying? Under the left eye. Then he just started getting ripped up from there. But he was doing well, man. I mean, he was like giving really good as he got, man. And he just got caught on the ropes and bam. You know what I'm saying? Bam just went to his ass, man. I was like, God damn, man.
Bam broke his orbital bone.
Yeah. I see it. You see it right here.
That was Sonny said. Said he got a medicinal orbital fracture.
Yeah, you can see that shit right there, man. That's what Kell Brook looked like.
He got on Twitter. He got on Twitter last night. Said, "I ain't gonna lie, Bam beat my ass." I don't think he. I rock with him though, man.
Oh man, and Sonny tough as nails, man. I was saying that shit last night. I was like, man, this dude is incredible. But you know what I'm saying, they should have stopped the fight maybe a round before because he just looked like he was overwhelmed. He looked like he was totally overwhelmed, man. Bam on another level. What do you think about Bam, Bo?
Man, that guy's got a lot of skills. I was a little bit concerned because he was coming off of I think it was with a broken jaw, right?
Yeah. Bam, he had a broken jaw. I don't know.
Yeah, he had a broken jaw. That's in the previous fight. So that was really my only concern. On the other end, like, these UK fighters, and I mean, I've heard some speculation about why they keep having these broken orbital bones and things like that. And
you think he eating the chicken eggs? You think Bam eating them chicken eggs?
It seems to be an issue over there. It's either that or what, I don't know what type of milk they're drinking, man. Maybe the milk is maybe the milk's gone. The milk's gone bad, man. I don't know what to tell you. The milk's gone bad.
That pasteurization process is a motherfucker,
huh? I don't know. I mean, how else are you going to explain it? And, I'm not a scientist when it comes to these things, but I've heard people say that is a result. That is a result of taking these drugs. So I mean, you're only leaving us to speculate and read between the lines. And a lot of their guys over there get caught. So why is it that all these guys keep coming up with these broken orbital bones? And it's different races of people too. It's not like it's you could say, well, okay, maybe this guy has high cheekbones or something, or I don't know. I'm just saying, whatever it is, it's different. it's different. It's fighters from that originate from different parts of the world. So got to be something over there. And also, like, when their guys win belts and titles, they don't reign as champions for a long time either. And they have these up and down, and you see these up and down performances as well. Even the best of them. Like, it is what it is. You're not seeing a lot of consistent performances either. Even look at Josh Taylor. That look at as much as people were as much credit as you gave him for winning that tournament that he won. Man, some of the performances afterwards leave a lot to question, a lot to be desired.
Yeah, because I picked Josh Taylor to beat T.O., and he went out there and laid an egg, man. He didn't look like the same Josh Taylor that fought Regis Prograde. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look like that dude. You know what I'm saying? His performance was way flat. He didn't even look like he had the abilities that he had in that Regis fight. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell is going on?
The Catterall fight.
Yeah.
He lost that fight. He definitely lost that fight. No question.
Yep. He got a gift. He got a gifted win in that. He said Shakur is a widow, and he's average when he fight top fighters. And see, that's the thing. We're not seeing the ones that we pick as special fighters in enough good fights. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's questioning, how good are these guys really? Tank, you know what I'm saying? Devin, all of them. I mean, they're not fighting enough for one, and they're not fighting enough good fighters. You know what I'm saying? To like really get a good estimate where they are in the game, and then they're not fighting each other. So, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of questions out here leaving us arguing about bullshit instead of them just getting in the ring and just looking at their fighting style, how the styles clash, So, it's a lot of, it's an incomplete data, so usually by this time, by a fighter that had, 25, 26 fights, you got a good understanding of where you sit in the pecking order. But now, since they cherry picking up guys they could beat, it's like we still don't know. Guys can do that shit their whole career now. Not like I was saying earlier in the program, that there's not enough good journeymen to test these guys. They beat one or two dudes. What I'm saying, that's tough. So maybe one or two dudes, and then they go straight to the top. What I'm saying, if you're a special guy like a David Morrell Jr., what I'm saying, you're just so far above your skill levels, your abilities. So you're gonna make them look like trash. What I'm saying? So if you do come across a couple of tough journeymen, what I'm saying, you want to see them be able to last, show some adversity and go through some adversity in the ring. I don't think there's no fighter out there just so goddamn good that, say he's not going to face some kind of adversity if he fight a good solid fighter, right? What I'm saying? Unless you just that goddamn blessed and you just that damn special, what I'm saying, that you could make good fighters look like they ain't shit. So, what I'm saying, even Boots had Karen, what I'm saying, he had a Karen fight that made him look crazy in the ring, what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying.
Karen ran the whole fight though. Karen ran. That wasn't a competition. He ran. He literally ran for 11 rounds. The only time I saw him actually try to even make an attempt to compete in that fight was in the 12th round, and he still got beat in the 12th round. And he threw his hands up like he accomplished something. I hated that fight. I don't even.
Yeah, me too. I think everybody hated it.
Yeah, I know how some people were disappointed in Boots for not not maybe slowing down a little bit and cutting him off, and because the guy had really, obviously this is what I'm saying. This is why you got to respect these guys. We didn't really know about Karen. I tried to look him up and see some of the stuff about Karen before he fought Boots to understand. I'm like, okay, this guy's okay, but obviously he has an IQ, and he watched Boots and he studied Boots, and he's like, I'm not gonna be a victim. And he figured his best way to survive was to keep on running until he couldn't. And then he got to the 12th, and the 12th he did put up a little bit of resistance, but he didn't. He was just happy to go the distance. That was his whole thing.
Right.
And these guys are professionals. These guys, you might not respect them. Again, Karen coming from a country, from a smaller, from Eastern Europe, nobody was checking for this guy, but obviously the IBF ranked him way up there that was essentially Boots' title fight. That was like his title fight. That was an eliminator. So he was up there, and that's the guy they put up there. But and he has ability. To what extent, that's what we hope to see. And sometimes it's unfortunate for these guys because they're going to get judged just on that one fight because we never seen this guy really in his totality until he fights Boots. Now, I'm not sure some of these guys coming from over there, they may not understand that. Like, my reaction was, I don't ever want to see that guy again. Like, I don't ever want to see him in American boxing.
These bums, Bowley, he be building these bums up and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just saying. You put Karen in a different fight. He might be something else. But I don't personally. I don't want to see that guy. I don't want to see that guy. I don't want to see that guy again. But these guys are the fighters that are presented today. We just got to accept it. This is the state of boxing, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, boxing is worldwide. It's a worldwide sport, and these guys are ranked up there. And that's the IBF. The IBF is probably more respected for actually giving guys a shot and really, being straight by the line compared to other organizations. So I don't know, man. We just got to. I'm not trying to make the sport what it isn't. I'm just trying to tell it to you as it is. I'm trying to give it to you as straight as possible. Sometimes you can say, it's fanboyism or whatever, like somebody said in the chat, which I disagree with. Obviously, whoever's promoting, since we're bringing that issue up again, the promoters are seeing something, and they're acting accordingly, and we agree. I'm not his promoter, but I see why they moved him the way they moved him. Whatever. It is what it is, man. It is.
Who you talking? Who we talking about now? You said how they moved.
I'm going back to that original conversation. I'm just not trying to linger on it, but I'm just saying I'm just trying to use that as an example. Like you're just gonna have to take it for what it is. People are where they are. The sport is what it is. We can't bring back fighters of yesteryear and give them their youth back, and like bring guys up from the 90s and the 80s and the 60s and the 70s. Be like, all right, man, I need you to come up and fight this guy in 2023 and prove to the people that he's not who he say he is. That's just not what it is. The Karens of the world, the Karens, the Idoses, the Agbekos, like they're part of the top 10 as well. They're part of the boxing world. That's just what it is.
Well, I want to ask you guys this, on the hottest topic, what I'm saying? You got Devin Haney and Tank, trying to, like they're trying to build the fight a little bit. I don't know if they're just building the fight so they can fight these little no names, so everybody will be keeping eyes on them, or are they really going to make the fight? Now, I was saying, like, I want Tank to go up to 140 to fight Devin, and look like, Tank fans don't like that. They don't like the fact that people want him to come up to 140 to give up his advantage at 135, right? And I'm saying the only way they can make that fight is at 140. I think that's the only way it happens because we know Devin can't make 135. So I don't understand why people are still arguing that point. And now, I mean, the counter argument is that somebody mute your mic. You got a lot of back.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that's me.
Okay. The counter argument is that David rehydrates up to 165. So I mean, I wouldn't mind them having some kind of 10-pound rehydration clause at 140 where you can't go all the way up to 165. What do you guys think about that? And then make the fight at 140.
Go ahead.
I would say I can give it that. If you already know that this man can't make 35, I don't know why people keep pressing the issue about that. But I really don't like rehydration clauses. Really, not if you ain't got to. Whatever it takes to make the fight happen, I just don't believe the whole $20 million thing. I just don't believe that. That's the only
I think that would pigeonhole Tank to what he could make, so they'll never go for that because that would pigeonhole.
I would say Tank only got $5 million upfront money before the pay-per-view money to fight Ryan Garcia. So saying that you're gonna give him $20 million in guaranteed money, that's like a stretch. That's like 4 times what he made last fight. So I ain't really, unless the people from Saudi putting up the money, I ain't buying it. But if it's true, go ahead, take the money and let's get it on.
Well, you know, them PBC end too. So, you know, they make money on the back end too. So, I mean, we don't actually know exactly how much he made. But, you know, saying that just accept a set amount, I think that's kind of, you know, shooting yourself in the foot, don't you think?
I believe so. I mean, I just don't know. It's just so hard to like believe anything that come from either side. So I'm just gonna sit back and wait to see, and hopefully we get the fight.
Hey, Paul, I personally question really whether the Haneys really want the Tank fight or not. I think, you know, part of me believes that this is a part of their marketing plan, kind of, you know, like they've attached their name to Tank. They already moved up. They already moved up to another division. Tank already said after he fought Barrios that he didn't feel comfortable at 140 and 135 is his division. He said that publicly after he fought Barrios, like in the post-fight press conference. So you know for a fact that he wants to stay at 135, but you go to 140 and then you make it seem like somebody's ducking. So either that's their plan. Either the plan is to use Tank for a marketing tool, or they're just building up the levels of the fight. If I'm to base it upon past history, I'd say that they don't want the fight. That's for me because they do this every time. They have a fight already scheduled, and a lot of people believe that his next fight is Sandor Martin because that's the mandatory. So they have a fight already, and they use somebody else's name to build up the name recognition and say Devin Haney many times over, which we continue to talk about it, but then they end up fighting somebody else. I've seen this at least 3 other times. So I don't. That's what they do. Whatever. I like what Devin's doing in the ring. I like the Loma fight. I like the Regis fight. If he wants to make the Tank fight, then you're gonna have to probably make it on Tank's terms. Meaning you're gonna have to go to Amazon now or PBC, negotiate. You're probably gonna have to fight at 135 or whatever you can negotiate or whatever weight. Personally, I like rehydration clauses I like the IBF rehydration. I think that's fair. You know, you make the weight that day and then the next morning 10 pounds. That's fair. That means that's a discipline. That's called weight discipline. I'm cool with that. I wish all of them had it, and we don't have to see this reckless rehydration because it also protects both fighters. Right? It protects both fighters at the end of the day. And that's what we want. You want a fair fight. You want to sit and enjoy it. You don't want it to be tipped too far in either direction as far as an advantage. That's what it is. If Haney can't make 135 and Tank says he wants 135, we'll move on. There's a ton of really good fights. I love to see Haney sit there and say, I'm the man at 140 and I'm fighting all of you guys. I love to see that. You know how I feel about Russell. You know how I feel about Matias. I think those are the 2 best guys at the division. I love to see him say, you know what? I'm taking you next. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you.
Even
Not only that,
Russell?
T.O. He's got issues with T.O. That's a grudge match. I want T.O. You've been running T.O. You've been running your mouth. Bring it on. That's what I would like to see. If Haney was that guy and he said, I'm gonna clean out 140. I'm gonna take all the champions and all the contenders. Man, he could retire after that, and I will buy a Haney jersey. If there's a Haney jersey, I'd buy that shit and wear it, and put the picture somewhere where people can see it. I'm wearing a damn Haney jersey after that, no question, no doubt. That's how I feel about that. I don't even care whether he fights Tank at that point.
You got T.O. over Russell? Gary Russell too?
No. I'm not saying. I'm saying like if Haney was. What my point is like he doesn't need Tank. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know whether they're being genuine about. I don't believe that they're being genuine about wanting Tank anyway. But for me, legacy-wise, and this is what all people talk about legacy. Legacy can be many things, by the way. It can be good. It can be bad. Your legacy is what it is. But if he was to sit there and fight the top guys at 140, it's enough for a whole career. He could end his career at 140 with all the competitors that are already there, and the type of competition that he would get. There's a lot of Alberto Puello, who fought on the YouTube portion of that card. He's a tough fucking fighter. They stripped him because they said he had something in his system, possibly masking something, whatever the case is. I'm gonna avoid that particular issue, but just look at him as a fighter. He's a really good technical fighter. That's a tough fight. Barboza is there. He already beat Regis. And there's a ton of fights there. There's just a lot of really good fights at 140. Rolly, Ryan Garcia. I'm not even mentioning if Haney made all those fights could go on pay-per-view. All those fights would be exciting fights. You'd all be really excited for it. If that's the way that they wanted to go, they could do that. I don't know how the business would work out. I'm just saying that, like, there's enough smoke in that division where he doesn't, to me, he doesn't even have to worry about it. But, I don't know what they're going to do. We'll just wait and see. But it seems like Sandor, I would, if I was betting, I'd bet that Sandor Martin's next if he stays at 140. If he leaves the division, that's a whole other story.
Mm-hmm. You better fight him fast, because every time Devin eats a damn piece of meat, he moved to another damn weight division. So,
right. Exactly. So
you better
we're gonna find out
they're already talking about him fighting Boots and shit. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, 140 is the deepest division in boxing, and Devin and Boots, my lord, I want to let him enjoy 140 first before I even just get into that.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, like, the difference between the two of Tank and Devin, this is what I believe. No, I'm not saying you can disagree with me. Right now, if Tank fights everybody at 135, I think he beats all these guys, including Shakur. But if Devin fights all the guys at 140, I don't think he beats all those guys. I don't think so. That's a big difference.
Well, Calvin Ringo, he was saying Devin, they agreed last night to fight. Ryan and Devin agreed to fight next. And I don't know what he's going to do about that mandatory though. Sandor Martin mandatory. I don't think he's going to accept no step aside money. So that brings us a stripping that might be, in question. I mean, I wonder if Suleiman allow him to fight. That's a big fight, so he shouldn't have a problem with it. Those are two big names, so that's a better damn fight than Sandor Martin. So
who announced the fight?
I don't know. I'm just going by what Calvin. Calvin's solid, man. Calvin Ring. So they just agree. I remember him last night saying they had just agreed on it when we was doing our live. Mm-hmm.
They can agree to fight, but it doesn't mean it's next. They can maybe agree to fight. Well, oh yeah, we definitely going to fight each other, but it doesn't mean that it's next. That's the difference.
Devin might try to get an extension or something. I don't know. I just don't see Sandor Martin stepping aside twice though. I would.
Yeah.
If I was in his position.
I mean, it ain't like he gonna win. He might as well wait. Shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like Sandor Martin gonna win.
You're right about that. I don't know. It depends on how much money you're talking. Cause shit, you could take step aside money and hope Devin lose so you can have an easier fight for the title.
I just don't think much about Sandor Martin.
Hey, let me say this real quick. Hey, Jonathan Parks, Devin ain't beating David Morrell. Don't worry about it. Devin's not beating David Morrell. Don't worry about it, dude. Don't worry about that. I got my own shirt on my back for sure. But he's definitely not beating Morrell. How about that? Funny guy.
Man, I'm just scared for Devin at 47 whenever he do go. It depends on who. It really depends on who's still gonna be there by the time he go
there. I'm like looking for it. I'm like looking for the let's see where they agreed. They called.
Shit, away 47.
Oh, Calvin Ringo's asking for the link.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Let me see. Seeing where they agreed. I mean, I believe what Calvin's saying, but I'm just looking for the announcement. Let me see.
Well, I mean, you remember back when Haney got in the ring with Ryan Garcia, and he was like, I'm fighting him last. He's last. So essentially, he
Yeah.
already said he's going to fight him, but he said he's going to fight him last. Because Ryan was another guy that said he would retire early too. He said he wanted to be out of boxing by age 26.
Yeah.
So
I remember that bullshit. I remember.
Yeah, he's coming up real close. So when guys say stuff like that, believe them. They don't have like these guys just like Colbert. Colbert was talking the same way. These guys have long-term plans. They don't have like they don't have like 6-month plans. They got plans over 5 and 10 years. So they know what they're doing. And if a guy tells you that, you got to believe it because boxing's not an easy sport.
What's going on, Cal?
What's going on, brother? How y'all doing, man?
Good.
Chilling, man. Just doing a little boxing talk. That's all.
Yeah, just real quick to clear up what I put last night. Remember you was on last night before the fight started? And I went on there and I say, hey, they just agreed 3 minutes ago that they gonna fight. What happened? I got a beep saying that ES News has something going on. So I went on there to go check it out about Devin and Ryan. I'm like, damn, what's going on there? So I went on there, and what happened on Twitter, Ryan basically put up a post saying, hey, Devin, Tank ain't gonna fight you without a catchweight clause. Man, that fight ain't gonna never happen. He said maybe me and you should fight in the future. And Devin basically said, shit, why don't we fight now? He was like, bet, we can do that. And then Ryan was like, check this out. He was like, I'm taking on Rolly in March, and then me and you will fight on a special day. So in my thinking, a special day is Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. So he may try to do 30 days, March 3rd, and then turn around and try to do another fight or a little bit further down, like in June or July. So he's saying a special day. So I'm trying to look up all the Spanish special days and Latin special days to see what's coming up. Because Ryan about his people. So I'm like, okay. So they both said bet and agreed. And why I think that's gonna happen before the Tank, the only reason I put that is because Ryan ain't gonna ask for no rehydration clause. Rolly not gonna ask for one, no, or Tio. But Tank is. So if you remember when he fought against when he fought against Lomo, if you watch that after they did the final meet and weigh-in, when he was walking back, Cambosa's father hit Devin on the back and say, have a good fight, champ, you can do it. And Devin almost fell over. And Cambosa's father stopped and looked, and Cambosa's looked at him. They looked at each other like, damn, he weight drained. And they had a look of worry on there. Devin can't do 135 no more. See, Tank want to sit back and wait and let Devin collect all the belts and then say, let me come let me come get in. I don't like this new boxing age. My thing is, if you want to fight the man, work your way up that ladder. You just shouldn't say because I got all other fans. What about everybody else been busting their ass for the last 10 years, getting to the spot they at now? But I'm just saying that Tank fight, unless they come with a big money offer, I don't see that fight even going on. And Tank still have a lot of chances at 135. Tank is about the money. Go fight Shakur. Go fight Frank Martin. You can go fight Lomo to show that he wasn't really nothing. Devin just barely got by. You can go fight Cambosis to show the same thing. So he still have money fights at 135. But that fight between them two, bro, I don't think that's happening, man. I think it's either gonna be Rolly or it's gonna be Garcia, and I think he gonna fight T.O. last. But I can't remember who got the fourth belt, or is it vacant right now? Because I know Rolly wouldn't got that vacant belt, but who got the other belt at 140?
No,
Matias don't.
Rolly's got a belt. Matias got a belt at 140. Devin and Tio. Those are the 4 belts. Yeah.
Now, if he can't get the Rolly fight or the Garcia, he gonna go fight Matias. He's not going back to 135. He jumped on it too quick, bro. He's not trying to be weight drained. That's just
Rolly's gonna fight Ryan, I think. Yeah. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's what Rolly wants. But I don't know.
No, that's what he said in the text. He said after Rolly, then me and you gonna fight on a special day. And then Devin said, why don't we fight now? And then Ryan put up a thing said Rolly Ryan or Haney or he said Rolly Ryan or Ryan Haney We're gonna let the fans decide. Go look at it's on their Twitter right now, and then they both agreed. They both agreed to.
Yeah, I gotta wait and see. I gotta wait and see on that one. I gotta see.
No, you know, we just speculating. You know, what I'm saying it ain't nothing final.
Great. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We just speculating. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Good. Good.
Yeah, man. So you know, I mean,
you got to think about something. One side of the coin is already done. Ain't he his own boss?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. But they, you know, you're gonna have to be able to deal with the goddamn zone if you mess with Devin and Bill Haney. You know, you're gonna have to be able to bring it over here, and that's gonna be hard when you got a powerhouse like Tank. You know what I'm saying? His production team, that cross promotion is gonna be very complicated. You know, when you're talking about Al Heyman, the PBC, and you're talking about the zone, that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be real interesting.
They did it before. They did it with Ryan.
Yeah, but we talking about we talking about with the cash. We talking about what, like 2 cash cows. You know, so 2. You know what I'm saying? Like we talking about a huge fight. Mm-hmm.
Even then, that's De La Hoya talking to Al instead of Eddie Hearn.
I mean, you said we're talking about the network, but they got it's the same network, so they should technically be able. I mean, it's different now. They got Amazon, but you know, we'll see, man. What we know is like if it's gonna make money, they'll make the fight. They made a lot of other fights in boxing history when they had to, because they thought it was gonna make them money, and it's what people wanted, and they did it. So, you know, we'll just wait and see. You know, like
So it says not connected. It said device not connected. Try it again, Cal. Cal,
long as the fight happens.
It says device not connected. So try it again. I'm like, go in, go out, come back in. There it is. It just snapped in. Shit, when you almost. Let me see if I can put another link in here. This damn string y'all crazy as hell. I put a fresh link up there, Cal.
See, the bad part, the real failure on that Shakur fight was that performance really pushed him out of a Tank fight for at least probably a year or a year and a half, because you got to recover from that. I think a lot of people watch that, and I don't think they'd be comfortable putting him in with Tank at this point, because you got to realize they're looking at it from a standpoint of they're trying to make their money. You know, that's at the end of the day. At least Tank's people, they come up front and say it. What their aim is for. They're trying to make the biggest fights. They're trying to give fights that they say that all the fans want, and they want to get paid accordingly, which is fair enough. That was the real failure of that fight, to be honest with you. But you know, I hope that if Haney has to fight a Sandor Martin to start planting his feet at 140 and really, you know, challenging people, even if he didn't win every fight at 140, man, you can't. If you go and fight all these guys, you can't discredit him. You can't.
Trying to wait, because the last time you almost went out, I saw it blink in, but it says device not connected. You didn't switch devices or something? You switch devices or something. But I know when you about to pop out, that's when I see it click so I can click it in. I'm just trying to click them in. It's saying device not connected. I don't know what that is. Let's see. I know when you about to leave up out of here, that's when it. Let me see that. Okay. I don't know why it ain't. All right, y'all, go ahead. What you were saying, Bo?
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, like with at 140 with Haney, you know, I repeat it again, man. Even if he doesn't win all those fights, like I don't think there's any shame to it. You know, if you fight all those fights, but nobody's doing it like that. So I don't even feel comfortable saying that. Oh, you know, he needs to do all this. I'm not gonna say that, because nobody's doing that stuff. None of them. So why even bring it up? Like I said, I like the Loma fight. I watched that fight. I like the Regis fight. You know, and we'll see what's next. If it's Sandor Martin, it is what it is. Sandor Martin gave T.O. a lot of trouble. He beat Mikey Garcia, and that's a mandatory. So you know, you can't really diss that. What I don't like is like all the pump faking. But that's what has gotten them to this point, wherever that is, and I assume that's where they want to be. So that's their game plan. I'm not here to be a morality judge. I'm just watching fights. That's it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and not act like I haven't seen these playbooks before. I've seen that play. Yeah, I recognize the pattern.
Hey, Cal, it says they would need to connect to their microphone before you can add them to the screen. So I don't know if you can got your microphone on or something. Cut your mic. There you go. There you go. What did you do?
No, what happened was, bro, sometimes when you come in, it'll make a noise while somebody talking to cut the person off. So I always come in on mute. That way I ain't listening to nobody saying, man.
Okay. If you come in on mute, I can't add you because it won't let me.
Okay.
So me neither. I ain't know that either.
Hey, Paul, I got a quick question for all you guys though. Do you think that we're gonna finally when we talk the real fight that we wanted to see for a long time, you think we're finally gonna get this Wilder versus Joshua fight? You think that Joshua is gonna live up to his end of the bargain, beat Wallin, and Wilder's gonna beat Parker? We're gonna get this fight? They said March 9th.
Yeah. I think AJ, he's over the being undefeated shit, and I think he's been through enough experience. I think he done garnered enough experience to face Wilder, and he don't care. You know what I'm saying? He's not worried about losing now. I think he's free to go in there and fight his fight, and I think we will get that fight because I think that'll be his last fight with Wilder. And I think he'll finally face his fears and fighting on Wilder. It might even make him a damn better fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because once you defeat the dragon, that that fear. And I think Wilder is AJ's greatest fear. Because he just looked like a nigga that just would beat your ass. I mean, he just looked like a mean, dude. And something about AJ, something about Wilder that he's always just, he just never wanted to face him. And this is my opinion. Saying some people say that AJ is a better boxer than Wilder, but I don't think it's a thing of skills. I think it's a thing of heart, having heart. And I think AJ finally has built up enough confidence in all his little fightings and everything. I think he will face Wilder. So I think we in for a good one because I think Wilder's older now. He slowed down a little bit, and I think AJ's confident to face him now. So I think we will get that fight.
That's a good amount.
You don't think there's any danger of him losing to Wallin or Wilder losing to Parker?
Well, yeah, there is that. I don't think Wilder will lose to Parker. I mean, I don't think he'll lose to any of those guys. I don't think they're on Wilder level unless Wilder done lost something and he don't have any punch resistance or something like that from his wars with Tyson Fury. So we don't know how bad he's banged up. But if he's okay, he will beat Parker and he'll beat those guys. AJ, that's a different story. I don't know what AJ. I mean, he's training with Derek James. I mean, I don't know. Y'all think AJ look better?
No, he doesn't have Derek. He doesn't have Derek. He doesn't have Derek James this fight. It's Ben Davidson. For this fight, it's Ben Davidson because he said, he said he couldn't, he couldn't stay in America, the whole year. So he split his camp just for this fight. He said he'll go back to Derek James, but for this fight, he's using Ben Davidson.
Well, I don't think he's not complete. He could get beat by one of them guys. I think he'll beat Joseph Parker, but Otto Wilder can box a little bit. That's gonna be the challenge for him right there. Getting past Otto Wilder. I think that's a good fight right there. But yeah, so if he could get by those two, I think he'll fight Wilder. I think he will fight Wilder. I think he's grown. His heart grown 2 sizes since so he got his ass beat by Andy Ruiz. I think he's been through a whole lot. I think he gained a lot of experience. And if he can make it through all the Wilder, then I think that's his biggest threat. I think he'll beat Joseph Parker because I don't think much of Joseph Parker. But I think if he get by Wilder, I think I think he'll fight Wilder. what I'm saying? I think he'll lose to Wilder. But yeah, I think that fight will happen. I think that fight will happen. What about you guys?
I think
they both should take care of it. They both should handle business. I ain't really concerned about that.
Yeah,
You don't think Wilder to give AJ trouble, man?
Yeah, I just think AJ will figure it out though, because Wilder a little older now.
To me, the difference between AJ and Wilder is that when Wilder get hurt, say it's 30 seconds left in the second round, he get hurt. By the time he come out in the third round, middle of third round, look like he never got hurt. AJ, he get hurt 30 seconds in the first round, second round, he's still wobbling into the fifth, sixth round. He got to learn how
that
to become
motherfucker turned into a wobbly weebly, don't he?
Yeah, he wobbly weebly. And think about it, he got to learn how to become dangerous when he get hurt. And if he can learn how to become dangerous when he hurt, because he's a better boxer, and he's a good boxer for a heavyweight, but he don't recover fast. But if he can last long to the 6th, 7th round, especially the 9th round, he'll get Wilder, because Wilder don't do no type of road work. He don't run or none of that.
He's running now. He's running now.
But I mean, he ain't been in no war for a minute neither. So it's gonna be if this guy can take him into a war 12 rounds and we can see Wilder still got some energy left, then we can say, yeah, he complete. But if he's still the same way, wore out, I think AJ can get him in the later rounds with a knockout or a stoppage.
Damn. I ain't expect to hear that.
One shot, anybody.
You talk about AJ beating Wilder or Wallin?
No, AJ can beat Wilder that way. Wilder.
Oh, he can beat. Oh, you're saying he can beat Wilder? Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's he gonna have But see, that's what I was explaining about. If he can make it to them later rounds, because we know once AJ get hurt, he hurt for 3-4 rounds. And Wilder will destroy him. But if he can take Wilder to that 9th round, and Wilder still don't have them legs, and this guy he finna fight now, don't take him to deep water so we can see, and AJ can get him wobbly, AJ can knock him out, because Wilder drops his gloves a lot when he's stepping back, because he's trying to get away, and that's when he get caught. And he can get caught. And it's the heavyweight division. He can get stopped, he can get knocked out.
But if Wilder come in 115, 215, come in, saying a lighter weight, like he's used to carrying around that weight. And Wilder been working on his skills. Y'all been checking that out?
Yeah.
Wilder been working on his skills. So if he, I don't know, if he can employ them skills in the fight, this shit may be a wash. You know what I'm saying? It just depends, if Wilder, does he what he got left in the gas tank? You know what I'm saying? Because he done been through some shit. He done been through some wars. He got dents and dings up in his head, and you know what I'm saying? What version of Wilder we gonna get? If we get a Wilder that's rested, you know what I'm saying, and got his power, I think he'll defeat AJ easy. I think he'll catch him. You know what I'm saying? AJ don't have great defense like that. He don't take punches well. And I think because of his chin, he's gonna get up out of there. He's not gonna avoid Wilder for 12 rounds. And then AJ don't have the greatest stamina. You know what I'm saying? He don't have great stamina himself. So, and he's always walking around too big. You know what I'm saying? Eventually he's gonna slow down, and I think Wilder's gonna catch him. You know what I'm saying? And especially with him working on his small skills, the jab, going to the body and stuff like that. If he can employ all that, he'll get AJ out of there pretty early, I think.
Both of them coming in that fight 215 and 220. Watch.
You think so? Oh, that's right. He is getting slim, man.
Oh yeah. It ain't if he dropped AJ, it's when he dropped AJ.
Exactly.
He done dropped everybody who have been in the ring with, win or lose.
True.
It's hard to tell.
I mean, I almost feel like it's in Wilder's favor against AJ to try and drag the fight out, because AJ's the one carrying all the mass, right? Like even in the danger with Wilder is like that power is there. He carries that power, 1 through 12. We've seen that, in his career. The fight where he looked like he was really gassing hard was that last Fury fight, and he put on, he put on about 18 pounds for that fight, and he looked really massive. But he abandoned. Oh, I'm getting an echo now.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Bowler.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I had an echo. I just put it on mute and brought it back. So yeah, I don't know, man. I see that that Wilder abandoned, putting all the weight on. It looks like he's back, just like he said, he's back to that his normal weight, right around like between like what 215, 220 area. Yeah. And the way he's moving in the ring and the way that he's talking, you can kind of see he's still being the same Wilder, in the fact that he's probably going to be knocking a whole bunch of guys out, but he's thinking the game a lot differently, and we saw that against Robert Helenius. If you watched that fight, you just sat there and you'd have thought maybe somebody would have thought that Wilder was running from Helenius. But in reality, he was just letting him follow him around. And I don't think he landed. Did he land even 2 punches on Helenius that fight? Maybe that was the second punch that he threw the whole round on Helenius, like that he actually landed. And then that was it.
And he put that Falumaloom on him.
Yeah, and AJ does have some gas tank issues. Imagine if AJ's just following Wilder around for a lot, and Wilder's just kind of touching him, being defensive minded, throwing to the body, just wearing him out here and there, and then he just waits. We've seen that happen over and over. It happened to Luis Ortiz. Ortiz in that second fight, he was winning all those rounds. He was dictating. He was, he had Wilder where he thought he wanted. Wilder just landed one shot. So that's always the danger.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I just want to see the fight. I'd rather not even even just like with the Morrell Benavidez thing. I don't want to debate these things. Let's just see it. I don't want to sit here.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I want to argue about it, man. Make the fight so we can all just sit back and enjoy it. And I sincerely hope they get paid. We assume in this situation, they're messing with these with that oil money, so money shouldn't be an object, right? That's the whole reason they're there. So that's what I hope when it comes to some of these other fights, that that there's going to be enough money to where you don't need a Canelo, or you don't, in AJ's case, he doesn't have to worry about fighting for all the belts for Tyson Fury, or in Wilder as well. You're going to get paid because the fans demand it, because people want to see the fight, and that's what we ask for, right? So let's see it. I don't care to debate it. I don't want to play it on the video game either.
It is what it is, right? But
yeah, man.
But I think we cooked enough and covered a lot of topics and everything, and you know what I'm saying? So I don't know when I come back live, y'all, 'cause I'll be driving like hell. So, but we're going end this one and see you guys in the next one. I appreciate everybody for stopping through, I'll be, I'm probably on the weekends, I'll probably be coming on because I'll be driving all week, y'all. And, but I see you guys then, probably my next 34-hour reset. Peace out, man. Sam, everybody capping. Why everybody capping? No, we just speculating.
Hey, Paul, to the rest of the guys on the panel, even earlier we're talking, man. We're just passionate about the boxing. Don't take it personally, man. We're just talking boxing. So don't take it personally. I love that you guys get on here and talk. I'm glad to conversate back and forth. So don't take it personally, and don't we just having fun. It's fun. It's fun for me. Even when it seems like I get excited, man, I'm having a ton of fun. Trust
me. No doubt. All right, y'all. We'll see you. Thanks for stopping by, Jonathan Parks. What's up? One of the 300, my brother. Thanks for stopping through. And y'all know how we do. See you guys in the next live stream, man. Peace out. Look out for the videos and hit that like button, fellas. Man, I don't be hitting the like button. Peace out, y'all.